And video stream is
Yeah,
off.
I will. Okay, yeah, I will still be inserting an ad before we actually are live on the radio. So you should have waited for my 20-second mark.
I will.
Yeah, we can still keep talking. Well, hello radio, hello video stream, since we're live already.
Hello.
But it's still idle chatter.
I'm so funny. When I say hello, everyone laughs. Hello. I didn't.
Why? Well, maybe we laugh in embarrassment because we can't say hello as good as you can.
Wow.
Oh, cool. We actually are live.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Oh, I like that. Hut.
I
whoever
always
that is.
laugh out of
Turquoise and
embarrassment. I'm just like a Japanese guy.
blue. I wasn't mocking you. I was just like.
Laughing
just-
out of embarrassment.
Yeah, exactly. I was just. It was a nervous thing to say.
So Nagi, are you watching the chats too, or should I do that?
I have it open on my second screen.
Have you set the titles?
Yes.
Oh, good boy. Good boy.
Ooh, someone's playing Atlas.
What? Atlas?
Yeah, the shooter seems to be playing Atlas. I played that for a while until my friend got bored of it.
Oh, it's a game.
It's a game I refuse to play by myself.
Music.
Atlas
Oh, and
music.
Nagi, by the way, if the music we play during our streams is gets only marked for revenue, that's no problem. But if it's tracks like Daft Punk's Technologic, the track will actually be claimed, and we can't. The VODs won't work.
Okay.
But if have you watched the recording of the race? Because every other track works fine except the Daft Punk track.
I didn't watch it entirely. I just watched a few seconds. Thought it was kind of weird. I don't know. Have to look into that again.
Ooh, do you mind if I play some No Man's Sky while we talk?
Sure, if it doesn't distract you too much.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's a very chilled
We
game.
want to know everything, your darkest secrets.
Wow.
Wow.
My secrets are never that dark. But
Yeah,
I'm happy.
that's the anticlimactic part, but
I will bear all. I will share with you my most intimate sides.
okay. But it sounds like we're 90 seconds from being live.
90 seconds.
Enough time to turn the volume down. Annoying.
The ad is playing. Yeah. 90 seconds from now. Well, 85. Oh. Sorry. I was getting my timing wrong. We don't have the delay.
Mein einiger Sonnenschein.
Don't try.
Du machst mich glücklich.
Oh my god!
Wenn Himmel grau ist.
Oh my god. I love if when English speakers try to speak German, it just sounds so wrong.
Try.
Try. Yes, try. Because it's not
Don't
good.
ever make Cheng do it.
Yeah,
I don't want
Cheng
to.
loves German.
Oh, I thought you said don't make a change to it, but Trank, yeah, that's also a thing.
Yeah, it's a person.
It's true. He's a good person. He did nice.
He still does. Anyway, it's 10 seconds from now. Now.
I'm gonna mute my phone.
And we're live. Hello everyone, this is Distant Radio 3305 with our Saturday special interview with none other than yours truly, me, of course. No, Dr.Kaii, welcome! And of course with me, Dr. Nagi.
Hello.
Say hello too.
Hello, humans.
Our guest is Dr.Kaii, also known as James. Hello, James. And
Hello.
yeah, we are going to be interviewing you about everything. We want to know your darkest secrets, as I said before. So
I will expose myself to you
we
like
do
a
have
naked
a
man.
list of questions we want to go through with you, but I
Okay.
think there will be a lot of questions from the audience too. So if the audience does have questions, we are watching the YouTube chat, the Twitch chats, and of course the Discord chat. And there's a channel called Interview-Questions where you can
Actually,
fire your questions
can
into.
someone who is watching on YouTube right now type something in chat just to make sure I can see that? That would be cool.
Yes. Please do that. Anyway, post your questions into interview questions, of course. If you're not on the Discord, change that, because why? And yeah.
Shall I make a quick announcement in FleetCom as well, just saying that we're on air?
Oh yeah, I
a bit
forgot that.
self-centered?
I do have the
You can do it.
permissions.
You
but
are an administrator. I'll do it because you're busy talking and being
yes,
a good host.
exactly. So I'm just scrolling for the questions and I don't know where they are.
I don't know where I am.
Yeah, I'm at home. So
Oh, someone has done it. You just did it.
did I?
Well, you did it an hour ago.
This is no, that's from yesterday.
Oh,
That's with was
there you go.
Hello, Dr.Kaii. The other doctor. Yeah, we have Doctors Week. We on Thursday we had Dr. Sarah Bosman, our fleet cosmologist, with the
Yep.
cosmology. Yesterday it was Shadow Dr.Kaii, and tonight is Dr.Kaii, the doctor.
So
is
let's start with the questions, man.
Yeah, please.
I think
Go ahead.
Go for it.
what people most likely want to know is, how did you get into Elite Dangerous?
Oh yeah, cool story, bro. I'm a big gamer, I'd say. It's like my biggest thing ever. I take it very, very seriously, and going into my marriage, I made sure my wife knew of that in advance. And so therefore there's not been many inhibitions in that. And I got my Oculus DK2 a year before I got into Elite Dangerous, and I had like no games for it. I was reading about this game called Elite Dangerous, which I admittedly didn't know that much about, but I saw it a lot in PC Gamer magazine, which I was subscribed to back then. And I thought it was like a bit like an X game, you like X3, X4, and all that, those games.
Yeah.
Where it was like very trading heavy, and it looks slightly boring. And I was like, I had it on my radar as like a potentially good VR game, just for giggles, really. But I was like, and then I started reading more about it, and something really sold me. It was like a 1-to-1 scale recreation of the Milky Way, and that really piqued my interest. But I still was of the opinion that, well, I'm not going to have enough time to get into a game like that as much as I'd like to, so therefore why bother?
So you were scared of the complexity at first?
I was scared of the level of commitment, because basically when I play a game like this, an MMO type game, like for example before Elite, a few years before Elite, I was in a MMO called Domo, Dream of Mirror Online, and I took it extremely seriously. I'd play for like 8 hours a day. I had a big guild. So it was like, I'm not going to play a game like that unless I can seriously get into it. And I can't seriously get into it, so therefore I'm not going to play a game like that. It was like simple logic. Anyway, at some point, around February after the game came out, what was that, 3301 probably, my wife said to me that she got some dividends from some stocks, and it's like, hey, let's buy you a game. So I was like, okay, I don't know what game really, so why don't we just buy Elite Dangerous? And the rest is history.
Okay.
If you want now, right now, go to the Frontier forums and look up my post and find my first ever post. It's a bit cheesy. It's like, hey guys, I really want to have loads of friends. Can it's all about me? No one responded except I think a moderator saying welcome, and that was it. But somehow I did manage to make loads of friends. At least I think they're my friends.
That sounds kind of cute, though.
It is cute. It's extremely cute.
So how did your first weeks or months in Elite go? What did you do?
So I can't remember. I think I was playing it, and then I started making YouTube videos pretty early. They weren't that successful, but back then there wasn't too much competition, so I was one of the main YouTubers, although not that successful. My goal was, because I'm an explorer at heart, I always have been since the beginning. My goal was to get the then only exploration ship, really, apart from the Cobra, the Asp. It was about 6 million, so that was quite a daunting task for a new player. I spent a lot of time doing running trade routes, and I made videos about that. Yeah, I got my Asp Explorer eventually, and then I started exploring. I had one of my original Explorer buddies was S7, the head of code, because he pirated me, and I was really annoyed. But then we became friends, as you inevitably do when it's a proper pirating session and not a griefing session. We went to Beetlejuice, and then I made another friend, and then I made my Deep Space Survey series, and that got into the newsletter, and that immediately kicked off, and that kind of really encouraged me. So I made a full series of that, and yeah, and I don't know, about a year after that, Distant Worlds happened, and I guess, yeah, everyone knows the rest of that story, I hope. Well,
so which way did you head out when you went exploring for the first time?
Oh, you're really touching me with these questions. So, my very first exploration trip was to Maya. I think everyone's is. It's the nearest nebula to the bubble.
Yeah.
I think I went there in a Cobra with a B class FSD, so it was quite a journey. Saw my first black hole. Came back. Then I think with S7 we went to Beetlejuice. I think that was the next big one. And then after that, yeah. And then after that, I think I headed to NGC 7288, or yeah, isn't it? The one with all the one that you can see from miles around. It's like this weird blob in the sky.
Yeah.
Then I came back, and then I went to the core and back with someone whose name is now dropped from my brain for some reason. But I'll remember it if
it's quite a big step. You went right into the galactic core after that.
Yeah, I had my Asp and it was fully kitted out, and it was a long trip, and I was making my series, so I got loads of good footage and lots of good episodes for that series. Yeah. I want to say what about you guys, but I know this interview is about me, so this feels a bit awkward. But, what about you guys, if you're willing to answer that question? Where did you go for your first trip?
My first real exploration trip was to the yeah, what's it called, around Barnard's Loop. There's a station right in the middle of that star cluster.
Omega cluster?
Not Omega.
Orion.
Orion Tourist Center. Yes.
Did I say Omega? Yeah, Orion. Yes.
Orion. Yeah. That's where I first went, and it was quite difficult finding the way in there because of all the permit logs.
True. I was way after my time, but it's definitely a thing now.
I didn't head for any nebula or something like that. The first thing, well, if I remember correctly, the first thing I went for was Ohm City in LHS 20, because everything was 15% off there. So I built my first cache of money around that area, and then I went straight for the Roads to Riches on Alpha Orbital. So I just went those few systems and made my money. And that's, yeah, after that I started preparing for the expedition already.
I assume you're a billionaire now, and it feels weird to think about days when 10,000 was... Well, close enough.
Also, that trip to Orion was really just testing how it feels to go further out, and then after that I went to Colonia.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. I made one trip to Colonia, of course. But that's after
I was one of the original people. Sorry for interrupting. Go on.
Oh, I was finished. I was just saying after I got my Asp, the first thing I did was go to Colonia.
Right. I've never been, and I'm one of the people that helped set up CCN. Although my contribution is quite minimal.
You've never been there?
No. Because it all got set up after Distant Worlds, and I was really burnt out at that point.
Oh my god!
And I thought if I did a 20,000 light year trip and back, I would quit the game forever. So I thought best not to do that. I've been there through multi-crew a couple of times, and so it's a beautiful place, and I'm really proud of what everyone's done with it.
That counts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to do that in preparation for the expedition, because I needed to make sure that I was able to do those distances as trips and not, well, as you said, drop the game. But but I didn't. and it was great. It was really great. I brought back a lot of Quentin's still.
So how did Distant Worlds happen then?
Distant Worlds happened with me befriending Aramis and feeling like, like I'm with a celebrity. Like, oh my gosh, it's Aramis and he's talking to me. And I think he was talking to me because we both had similar YouTube series and there's probably more to the story than that, but I can't remember. And he said to me one time he's going back to Beagle Point, and I said, oh, can I come? And he's like, yeah, sure, let's go together. And then one of us, I can't remember who, it was either him or me, suggested, hey, why don't we see if anyone else wants to come, make a proper expedition out of it on Frontier Forums. So we put up a thread, and at first it was like 10 people, then 30, then 50. Then we were like, are we going to make 100? It's like, yeah, we made 100. And then at that point, it was like, we're going to make 200, 300. And then we ended up leaving with like over 500. And by the time we were like a week out, there was like 1,500 that had joined. And it was, and Frontier were supporting it, and everything was going really well. Everything's going really well. Yeah. And so that's basically all there is to that story, but it's a good story.
So it grew really quick, even after you started. So I guess it wasn't as much organized as this one was. So did you do most of that on the fly then?
Yeah, we obviously we were getting very excited, so we had a lot of energy. It works a bit differently back then. So it started with the forum thread, and on that same forum thread was the roster, which we manually updated when people said they wanted to come. They had to send me a private message, and then I'd put it into the roster. And then they'd also give me their Skype details, and I set up like a whole Skype stuff because Discord wasn't as big back then. And then we did have a team eventually that were helping us, and they did do a lot of work, but it was a lot different to what Distant Worlds 2 is. Distant Worlds 2 is really not me and Aramis, it's the whole team, including you guys. Everyone's contributing equally, and every person now is like, absolutely vital to the machinery. If one cog is missing, the whole machine breaks. So yeah, back then it was a lot simpler. And yeah, to answer your question directly, it was a lot of the spur of the moment.
So what were the most important things that you learned from Distant Worlds 1 that were useful for Distant Worlds 2?
So what lessons learned did you learn to apply for Distant Worlds 33 or 5? That's the correct name, by the way.
That's true. You've really stumped me with that question because I don't think of it in those terms. What have I learned? I've learned that people really like options. I've learned so many things. I'm just picking one off the top of my head. Like, people like options, so what we try and do is make sure that there's as much going on as possible. There's so many different playstyles. So many people want different things. Like, some people want a regular CQC tournament. Some people want personal glory. Some people want to play by themselves. Some people want big events. Some people don't like big events. Some people want regular meetups. Some people want to go on ahead. Some people don't like it when we stop. Some people think we're going too fast. We just have to we really learned that everyone's really eager, but also everyone's really different, and we have to treat every commander as what they want, as special, and see if we can figure out a way to make everyone happy. Not always possible, but I think we've done a pretty good job. And I guess another lesson I learned was that we have the power to really change the game. We brought a lot of Distant Worlds 1 brought a lot of goodness to the Elite Dangerous community, a lot of camaraderie, a lot of a good opinion about the game itself, a good opinion about exploration, and it's really important to capitalize on that, because if we can change anything, everything about the internet is full of toxicity, and if we can create a bubble, as it were, of just non-toxicity, I don't want to sound too fluffy, but happiness and comfort and safety and friendship, and it just makes Distant Worlds what it is. It makes the world a better place in a very real way.
Indeed. I never expected to find something like this in a game at all.
Yeah.
It's amazing still. I created a radio for it, and I finally found a place for me to be in a community, because in the internet I always struggle to find the right place to
Yes,
well, be.
I totally know that feeling.
I've been into the anime community and stuff like that, and everywhere it's salty, it's toxic, it's cancerous, and I don't like
Political.
it.
Everyone
Yeah,
argues about every little thing, almost as if they were talking about who's going to be the next president of the United States
Yeah.
or something like that. It's like what
all the drama.
they're changing the discovery technique to an FSS. Oh, I hate it. I'm quitting the game. Or
that was-
oh, I love it. It's the best thing ever. How
I-
dare you hate it? How dare you love it? You know.
Yeah, I was so
I hate
tired of
you.
all that arguing over the new exploration tools. I
Well,
didn't
yeah.
look into the forum for like a month or so because I was so tired of it.
Yeah, well, there are a few valid concerns that have been addressed by FDev, like the migraine trigger issue that Turgeon had, and things like those. Of course,
Yeah.
those things are valid, but they sometimes, even those, get swamped by menial stuff, by stuff that doesn't really matter. That's uneducated, or people who wrote it didn't really think about, and stuff like that. And in Distant Worlds 2, I've been pretty much absent from FleetCom servers since the expedition just exploded, and but I've been here on the radio, and this toxicity hasn't happened once.
It's
Well,
absent.
internally, but that's another issue, and there's stress involved that makes that happen. But on the server itself, on the public side, everything goes just as smoothly. Everyone's trying their best to be nice and help each other, and I'm just amazed. It's never happened to me before, and well, I'm.
And you know what?
31,
You kind of just answered the question that I was struggling to answer before. The thing I learned about Distant Worlds is it means so much to so many people. It really does. I was expecting people to say, "Oh, I'm having an amazing time," but I never expected that people would so consistently say to me, and I mean, I've heard it, I would say at least 100 times, and that's only the people that have bothered to like communicate with me. And this is the only thing I've heard. I've never heard anything other than this. People have said, this is the de facto best thing I've ever done in a game. And some people even say in my life, but you know, most people say at least in a game, this is the best thing I've ever done in a game. And I've made so many friends, and I've had such a blast, and my life has changed forever, you know? People don't go far as saying that, but that's what happens when you make friends. Your life gets changed. And can you think about all the goodness, like, sorry again to be so fluffy, but just think about this. Happy people make the world a better place, and sad people make the world a worse place. I mean, this is not an anti-depression thing. Obviously, depressed people should get as much support as ever, but generally speaking, if you're in a good mood, you enhance the world for everyone around you. People want to be around people that are in a good mood. It helps lift them up. So if people can be in a good mood because of what we're doing here, then they're going to go and laugh with their children or their wife or their friends or their girlfriends or their boyfriends or whatever. They're gonna be in a good mood, and they're gonna be inspired to pick up the phone and call their parent they haven't spoken to in a few months, or you know.
Yeah, that stuff has put so many smiles on my face. I have stopped counting.
Yeah.
So I mean,
really
you get my
did.
point. And
Yeah.
that's the biggest lesson I've learned, and trying to capitalize on that and maximize that has been my goal personally, and the entire organization team's goal, as far as I can tell. And they've done a stellar job at it. And 13,000 people are now in a better mood than they otherwise would have been, and that is just something that you can hold to your credit. You can make a certificate and put it on your wall saying, "I did that," and look at that with pride. More than a diploma from university, more than
Yes.
you know,
So,
an award.
Distant Worlds 1 really was like the first real expedition with multiple people happening in the game, if I remember correctly. So it also
It wasn't.
kind of said... No, it wasn't?
No, there was the first great expedition that came before us. That
Sagittarius
not-
Carina?
No, that was after us. The first great expedition was led by Corbin Moran,
Oh.
and it happened basically, I think, Yeah, I'm probably going to be wrong about this, but it happened around the time the game came out, either slightly before or slightly. I think it was slightly after, and that's why it was called the First Great Expedition. But they were severely hampered by bugs and incompleteness of the game.
Oh.
They did make the newspapers, and one of the key headlines was like real NASA scientists are part of it, and I'm sure they were, and they were trying to study, the stellar forge and learn from it and things like that. But it didn't, because of the bugs and all that, it kind of fizzled out. Although it was definitely the first, and we'd never try and claim that we were the first. So I just wanted to
Okay.
emphasize that.
So
We were the
got
first
that
one that
one wrong.
was really successful. Yeah.
Well, also it kind of set the stage for future expeditions. When you take a look at EDSM, you can see there are a lot of expeditions happened in the past years, and also some new ones already popped up for the future.
Yeah, 100%. We created the model on which all of the subsequent expeditions that came out were based on.
And
speaking
of that, you also organized other expeditions besides Distant Worlds, and I would like to call them suicide expeditions. What's the matter with that?
What's the matter with me, you mean? I don't know. I was very lucky with Distant Worlds, for example. Anyone could have made an expedition, and most of them don't become nearly as popular. And I've been very lucky with my other expeditions in the fact that I was able to find a couple of places to go to that were unique. So when neutron star jumping came out, I scoured the galaxy map and I found the Cancri cluster, and then me and Aramis in the beta, we went and we found a route, and it was very reminiscent of Roald Amundson's like discovery of the Northwest Passage. We really did struggle, had to double back on ourselves. We ran out of fuel a few times. We crashed into a neutron star and had to scuttle. In the end, we found a way up, and we thought this would be the perfect place to go on an expedition, but it's only one way. And as a result, it was not as popular. Only about 350 people came.
Only,
yeah, that was
only
300
people.
Well, yeah, it was smaller than even Distant Worlds 1, but yeah, and I was really proud that so many people decided to go and try and do it. Then I did another one, the Sudden Mystery Expedition. I think only like 100 people came on that. And again, it was to a new place that was otherwise unreachable. Although I did find out as we got there that there was a neutron star that I just completely missed, and a couple of people had found that and been there before. So it was a bit of a. But I did, it wasn't what it said on the tin in the end. But people, took it well because when we arrived there, we had no idea what to expect because I never went there in advance, and I didn't even tell people where we were going until the final jump.
Yeah, it was there.
It turned out to be really beautiful. It was a really stunning system with I think it was either a Wolf Riot star or an O-class star.
Yeah, it was a Wolf Riot with the Snowball Nebula.
Yeah, I'd known about that place for a very long time, and I was always waiting for that moment when the jump range was just about good enough to get there. But then again, all that time I didn't know about that hidden neutron star. So anyway, those are the two other expeditions that I organized. And they were canonical Distant Worlds expeditions. We did include them as part of the Distant Worlds series.
Mm. Yeah, you were testing how well we can communicate, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Sudden Mystery Expedition was for the organizers also to practice their organization skills, I guess, and that went really well. Not everyone could make it, but it wasn't mandatory. It was really good.
So when or why did you and Aramus decide to do Distant Worlds 2?
We decided to do it when the Beyond update was announced, the Beyond roadmap. That was like October 2017 after PAX, and Aramus had been like telling me often, like, "Hey, let's do another Distant Worlds. Let's do another Distant Worlds." And I kept saying no, no. And the main reason was because there was no reason to go, and I didn't want to just repeat Distant Worlds 1. There was the overarching theme of Distant Worlds is that it changes perceptions. It's revolutionary. It's brand new. And nothing significant was coming in the game. All the updates were to do with like pew-pewers and other things that had nothing to do with exploration. And then Beyond claimed to be a major update for explorers, and there was the carriers thing, which could definitely be something that could change the exploration. And
Yeah, that one
there
got
was
delayed, unfortunate.
and there was the ice worlds and potentially like other changes to the geology of planets. And yeah, so we were like, okay, I was like, okay, fine, that's good enough. Let's announce it, and we announced it then. And yeah, that's what made us change our minds and announce it. Although those things did get delayed, which almost made us delay Distant Worlds, which is
That
another
makes me
story.
so happy because I just started playing the game at just the right time.
Is that when you started?
I started at the in November. I started in November.
Cool.
Early November, and yeah, I believe Distant Worlds 2 was already announced, but well,
Right.
yeah, it took 1 week of playing to find out about it. So here we are.
For me, it was actually a friend that I was playing Final Fantasy with, who told me about Beagle Point and that, oh, there's an expedition going there. And that got me curious, and I looked into the forums, and I've spent hours and hours reading everything related to it.
Yeah.
And got all
We really
excited.
should try and make a survey of how people heard about it, because there's loads of good stories.
That would be the strangest answers.
Yeah.
Well, we've now that we are at the actual current expedition, you have actually time to enjoy the trip, or are you too busy to keep a bunch of explorers somewhat organized? It's a question from Thudpucker.
It's nothing to do with it organizing. I mean, you know what? Organizing does take a lot out of me, especially the newsletter, and like keeping track of all the events and announcing them and coordinating them. And that kind of takes out some of my energy. I'm keeping up and I'm playing as much as I can. Every weekend at least I get a few hours in at one of the base camps, or maybe the Mug Club meetup. But I'm definitely not playing as much as last time, and I'm definitely not playing as much as I would like. But I wouldn't blame, I wouldn't blame the organizers for that. I'd blame myself and also my real life. There's a lot. I've got a new baby at the moment. Thank God. So
Well,
I
didn't
am.
congratulate you on that yet. So
You did. I
congratulations.
think you did. Thank you.
I did. Well,
I've got a vague memory of you congratulating me on that, but maybe you didn't. I don't know. Either way,
well,
thank you.
doing it again doesn't hurt.
Yeah, but I can't even blame him because my wife is being very supportive and looking after him whenever I need to play or do something Distant Worlds related. But still, it does, it does take up my time. I've also just recently changed job, and things are a bit different this time. But again, it's not about me. So the expedition is going swimmingly, and 13,000 people are having the time of their lives and generating the stories. And I've got a whole organization team this time that are the heroes, really. And yeah, so that's the more complete answer to your question.
That's well, it's the same about the radio team. I still can't stop complimenting them on thanking them for what they do, because well, yeah, they do a lot. They try hard and they put so much time into the radio, especially the guys that founded it with me, Shank, Nagi, Kenny, and Henka. It's amazing. All the DJs that want to be on the radio, that want to help out, and all that came from the expedition. So I'm really thankful for being able to do it. So
thank you guys as well. I really appreciate it.
So
it's been fun.
Yeah, up to now it's been fun. It will be more fun until when we reach Beagle Point finally.
Okay, so I retract my thank you then. If you're having fun, you don't deserve thanks. I'm just joking. I really do appreciate everything you guys do. Really do.
Is there anything you're looking forward to in the future of the expedition? Anything in particular?
I'm looking forward to the megaship and the installation being inserted into the game. I'm looking forward to seeing how many people make it to Beagle Point.
We actually get a new installation there? I thought we were talking about the station Express Anchorage.
It's an installation being like it's not a station. It's like a relay. One of their
one of the undockable ones.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
It's going to be
How
part.
about that?
The lore behind it is that we are. The purpose of Explorers Anchorage and the installation and the megaship are all to study the Sagittarius A star black hole, which is the nearest supermassive black hole within the only one in humanity's reach. And so the installation is going to be the civilian science outpost that studies it. Sorry, you can probably hear my son. And so that's what it is. And the megaship's just a lovely bonus. And the station is everyone sees the station in a different way, I guess, but the way I see it is like a hub for explorers, like a safe haven, a port in the storm, as it were, a place to rest and to hand in data and to meet up with other explorers out in the black, and then to continue on.
Do you think they're
open
gonna
up a new age of discovery?
Do you think they're gonna colonize that off-like world there?
I have no idea. I think probably eventually, but what sort of timescale we're looking at is going to be huge. So
I've read about an off-like world in Colonia, but they only use it for fishing. I don't know why. But apparently it's very tasty.
I don't like fish.
There.
But then again, I've never had alien fish.
Well, it still sounds tranquil. Sounds like a chill experience.
Yeah, it probably is.
Going there and going fishing.
Yeah, probably. So, did you actually find anything really cool while on the expedition? Or is it all, yeah, I've seen this before?
No, I have not been lucky enough to find anything really cool. I haven't even found my own NSP yet. I found one that had been found by someone else. I've so far only found one Earth-like world that's never been tagged.
Wow, okay, it's bad luck.
I know, pretty bad luck, isn't it? But I found friendship, and that is the hardest thing in the world.
No, that sounds fluffy.
You don't get.
But,
you know what?
I really like it. I really like it.
The thing that I go on.
No. Sorry. I was.
The thing that I found that's made me as happy as anything is Explorers Anchorage. I didn't realize quite how happy and proud I would be when I first saw it. It really sent tingles through my bones, like just seeing all the commanders come and go, and like that is something that I feel like I've directly caused to happen, in combination with loads of other people. Don't get me wrong. So I'm not trying to be selfish and self-centered here. I'm saying,
you're the mental father of this along.
Whether
so.
No, I wouldn't even say me and Aramis contributed more to this than anyone else. I'm just saying that me, as well as all the other people, including the 13,000 people that contributed towards CG and all that, well, it's more like 5,000 actually for the CG itself. We did it, and that's in the game because of us, and that's always going to be there. And even if I quit the game and go, it's still going to be there. And people are going to be using it for time immemorial, and every nut, every bolt, every light fitting, every landing pad, it's all us, you know, we did it. We did it, and it fills my heart with glee.
Yeah.
By the way, what ship did you choose for that? To do it in?
To do distant worlds, I'm coming in my Python.
Why Python?
Good question. Many reasons. One is that I've always liked the cockpit. I love the cockpit of the Python. It's very atmospheric. It's very comfortable. It's dark. It hasn't got all these bright lights shining in your face like, say, the Crate. So it makes a perfect like observatory where your eyes can adjust. I play in VR, so that's important. I turn off the HUD and I'm just there, me and the stars, nothing else. The seats are side by side, which is great if my wife ever wants to join me. Which she's done a couple of times for like 3 minutes, but still, it's been worth it.
It's the wrong side for you, is it?
Pardon?
It's the wrong side for you, is it?
Wrong side? What do you mean?
Because you're from Britain. You used to be driving on the right side.
Hold on. Yeah, you're right. That's why I crash all the time, I guess. I don't know. Actually, that being said, my last major holiday, I went to America and we did a 4,000-mile drive. So I'm pretty used to driving on the other side of the road.
Oh, okay.
Okay, still, good joke.
Yeah, the other thing I like about the Python is it's gorgeous. and it's versatile. Like for example, I've got a full mining build, every mining, everything mining related, every mining piece of technology, and I've got 64 cargo slots, and I've got 4 SRVs because I'm going to need them. I crash them all the time, and
Oh yes, I
I've
also got 4.
and with all that, I've still got 49 and a half light years. So it was the no-brainer choice for me.
Really? That's interesting. What?
I love the Python. Yeah, I love it.
Oh,
I haven't tried the
what
Python yet.
else ship would you have chosen if Python wasn't available?
I was tempted to take the Mamba.
Oof.
I think Colin
I
left
was
did
tempted to
that.
take it. Yeah, I like it, but then firstly, it's not got a big enough jump range, and it doesn't handle very well. So, and also the cockpit, like the passenger seat, is right behind me, so it's not very atmospheric for me and my wife to fly around.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I tried the Phantom in the beta. Don't know how to pronounce it.
Better.
Beta meta. Yeah, I tried it in the beta once, and I just immediately fell in love with it. It was just so well suited for exploring. Well, I had the Asp Explorer before, and it just was the perfect upgrade.
I was tempted to take the Asp because you can't beat the Asp cockpit in terms of seeing the stars, but I also am a bit bored of it. You can?
The Phantom is better, I think.
You've never
at
actually sat
least.
in the Phantom.
Well, you can watch through your lower cockpit. You can watch down through your cockpit. You can watch up. You can watch left and right. The only paths that are obstructed is the top left and the top right. But that's negligible because
That's still not better than the
otherwise
Asp.
it's a great view. Well, I actually love the view from the Sidewinder.
Yeah, I love the Sidewinder.
The
I
Sidewinder
love
is
it.
View I ever
surprisingly
had
cool.
before.
What I like,
Yeah.
what I actually like more about the Phantom cockpit than the Asp is the dashboard. That looks really cool on the Phantom.
Yes, it does.
Really?
On the Asp, that's just the typical Lakon workbench, as people used to call it.
It's about the versatility of the Phantom. It's just it can do everything.
It's
I've been
very
using it for
surprising
mining.
ship.
I've been using it for combat and have been succeeding. I've been using it for exploration, of course, and it just does well at everything. It just got the perfect amount of optional internals. It just got the perfect amount of hard points. Everything is just perfect for doing everything.
I think this ship really surprised a lot of people when it came out.
Except it doesn't have a ship launch fighter bay.
Yeah.
So I still have to get the Great Mark II.
Oh man, I am a big fan of Elite Dangerous's cockpits. I've got all the ships apart from the Phantom now.
It's not just the cockpits, it's just all the ships. Everything about the ships is awesome.
Yeah,
I just look at Chang's Beluga. It's a beautiful ship. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Belugas and all the South Kruger ships because they're just too round for my taste. But they're still pretty. And same goes for the Imperial ships, those Clipper and Cutter things that look like Naboo ships from Star Wars. But they also are pretty. But I like more. I like the what's it called? The Corvette style more. Yeah, the edgy style. I prefer.
Yeah. So you have to see my my Python. Let's see if I can find a screenshot. I'll share it in the chat. Maybe
I'd
I'll
like
put it on stream.
Yeah,
because
let's return to talking about you. Sorry. For
no, that's not what I meant. But still, let me see it.
That is what I mean.
You know, the way I see the Python is kind of like a futuristic version of the NASA space shuttle. Like if the space shuttle keeps going for 1,300 years, it might end up looking like that. It's like, yeah, that's why I painted it white.
White, it's pretty. White is nice. I never tried white, but Chang got me that new iridescent gleam for the Phantom, and it looks just awesome.
Yeah.
It does.
Pink.
I like those pearlescent shines in
Two-tone.
paint jobs.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the questions.
Yeah, we were talking about the update, the Beyond update, which basically made you go to Distant Worlds 2. So, are you satisfied with how the update turned out to be?
Yeah, I am. Overall, I am. I think it's good. I'm just hoping that there's still some really cool stuff out there to find that hasn't been found yet. But either way, even if not, I just love the fact that they've added some real exploration to the game. Like, there's stuff out there, and there's no exact way to find it. Here's some tools. Go and look. That's what I always wanted in Elite Dangerous and all my exploration games. I'm a big No Man's Sky fan, and that's me. I just love that kind of exploration. So yeah, I'm very happy.
That's great too.
I do admit that sometimes the FSS gets a bit tedious. So I was a big proponent of it initially, but now I am more in agreement that it's got its ups and its downs. But that's the way it always should have been, in my opinion. And I'm not going to get into a big political debate about this. So if people disagree, I hear your point of view. I'm not trying to tell you.
Well balanced. I would say it's well balanced.
It is, and I lamented when they announced it. I really did. I was almost in tears. If I had the ability to cry of anything but most extreme things, I probably actually would have cried, because since the beginning I would have wanted this. You know, it adds so much to finding. Now that I know what every single planet base type looks like, every archetype planet, I know them all inside out. I've seen each one at least 50,000 times. I know that any time I find something in FSS, I'm going to have seen it before. So really, I only look for the NSPs, and maybe occasionally, I'm hoping that there's some new planet types or star types or things out there to find. But I think it's going to be great for new players. So I'm very happy they did it, even though it took way too long. But
yeah, well,
I deal with a lot I've been given.
The game is evolving over time, and that's what I love about games, especially those kind of games. Even if it's not most times it's the community keeping on developing the game. Yeah. But in this case, it's the developers themselves, and I really appreciate that, because
which kind of brings us to the next topic then.
Yeah, they are trying to what's it called? To really create the game they initially wanted to. Maybe that's the best way to phrase it. And even if it takes time, well, if I got the money to support them, I will buy my skins and ship kits and stuff like that just to keep the servers running, even if it doesn't contribute much. But yeah, it's a great game, and I will keep playing it for a long time. I felt that initially when I started it. Yeah.
Well, put it this way: the end game that they've announced that this game is going to eventually be is my dream game, without question, without any hesitation. I would go into my VR headset and never come out. Once we're at that stage, I really would. I'd get my wife to bring me food. I'd have a catheter and a bedpan, and that would be it. I would take it off if my face started to hurt, and then put it straight back on as soon as I could. Although now I've got a son, I might rethink those priorities. But
swallow some painkillers and go on.
Sounds doable. Sounds doable. If your wife would be into it, well,
I kind of doubt that. Yeah.
Unless I could bring her in as well, I get back. Hopefully, then computing will be a lot cheaper.
So, when talking about tools and developing the game, you've been developing some tools for the game yourself. Can you tell us a bit about them?
I've got a few tools, but they've kind of all become integrated now. So I've got one called ED Profiler. What ED Profiler does is it lets you save a combination of in-game options, like for example, anti-aliasing, shadow quality, resolution, everything. Basically, every in-game option that you can adjust apart from the controls, you can now save to a profile, through the tool that you can give a name to, and then before you start the game, you can click on that profile and click apply. And when the game starts, it will start with those settings. It was initially created for my own purposes because I wanted to be able to do that. There was a tool that came before it that did the same thing called EDDI. I can't remember what the I stood for.
But the one with the speech responder that gives you voice feedback and stuff like that.
Say what?
Well, now it does. EDDI is the one.
Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. It's not EDI then. No, this tool is not
Discovery?
existing. No, it doesn't exist anymore. It's a tool that did what EDD Profiler did, but to a much smaller degree, and basically just let you change the resolution and between VR and 2D and a couple of other things here and there.
Okay.
And I used it back then because I wanted to be able to switch before starting the game between VR and 2D. And then the guy stopped supporting it, and it broke when Frontier released an update that broke it. And because he stopped supporting it, I decided, because I was getting into coding then myself, I'd use that as a learning experience to write my own. And it just has, it's just grown and grown and grown, and now I can do pretty much anything. It's had loads of additions to it, like the GUI. You could change the HUD settings and see previews of what the avatars are going to look like, which as far as I know is the only tool that does that. It used to have a tool called tone mapping, because the game used to let you change the tone map settings. And for all the people that know about tone mapping, it's basically letting you change the ratio of the darks to the lights, the tones. So you can customize the way the game looks.
But every color channel.
Yeah. Now Frontier, with the new lighting updates, stopped that from working. So for now, I've disabled it. It lets you change the extra settings, like the config file settings, like the number of stars in the galaxy and all that.
Yes,
it lets
and
you
just look at my screenshots.
Yeah. So it's not that great in some of the more advanced things it does. There's a few bugs here and there, but overall, at least for the basic functionality, it does that. And then I had some other tools which I've integrated into it, which are nothing really to do with profiles, which I've got one called, I really wish more people would use this. It's commander logs. It basically, because I play in VR, it's important to me, but I can see loads of other scenarios where it would be useful.
Yeah,
if you can
been recommending that for the expedition.
Oh, great. Yeah, so hopefully your listeners already know, but it lets you create logs simply by typing in local chat in the game. So you type in like, I've just landed on this planet. Something very like Captain's log, Stardate, blah, blah, blah. Stuff like that. Or whatever you want to record, you can use it as a bookmarking tool. Just take a screenshot, because it also captures screenshots. And then it puts them into a file, which then gets put into the list on the tool itself, which you can click on. And it will give you previews of the screenshots, and it will format everything nicely. And it has loads of extra things, like when you type something, it will actually say where you are and what you're doing. If you're docked at a station, if you're above a planet, it'll put the planet name. If you're landed, it will say landed on planet X at coordinates this. And it just lets you easily create logs as you go.
I've actually got a suggestion for it.
Oh. Go on.
Because
if I've got time.
If I've got, it's a small suggestion, nothing much. When you take screenshots, just put the name of the body you're targeting and the system you're in, of course, just below the screenshot as text.
Oh, I see. Because when you take a screenshot, it should tell you where you're near. Like the game records if you're in the region of a planet. So if you take a screenshot, it should just say in region of this planet. But it's slightly buggy. It doesn't always do it. Yeah, maybe I need to
Okay, I need to try a bit then. But yeah, okay. If that's already, if that already is in there, then yeah. I mean, I have seen the option. It should log some sort of location stuff, but yeah, it didn't do it. So I think I've got to try more.
Yeah.
Try harder.
There's another tool in there as well, which I think is now redundant because EDD does it and probably does it a lot better. But it lets you review your chat logs, whether live or in the past, and you can pick dates, and it will format it into the same formatting as the game, and it will divide it into different chat channels that the game has, and you can filter the different channels. You can't search right now, but you can copy everything out and then do a search with another tool. Yeah, so I'm quite proud of that. But that's also slightly buggy. And as I say, I think everyone uses EDD for that now, so I feel like I wasted my time a bit. But it's there. If all you have is ED Profiler, then you've got it. And if you've never clicked on it, that's what it does. There's one other tool in there. When they introduced the filter on the galaxy map that lets you see visited stars, they also gave the option to add systems to that. So I created a tool that will populate a list of systems in the correct format that the game accepts, from all your previous logs, your commander journals, your ED discovery, database files, and also captain's logs files. And it will then populate it and update your galaxy map with all your visited stars, which I've done, and I've got records of my first ever expedition, and I'm really happy that I did.
By the way, what do you think of a codex?
Love it.
Really?
Yeah. Why? Are there people that don't love it? I haven't been keeping up with the politics around the codex.
People don't like it. Some people don't like it because, well, everything inside the codex it has pretty much been discovered, and it's nothing new to find and stuff like that.
From my opinion, it's kind of a weird thing. For me, it's kind of a weird thing. I really like the statistics page and the knowledge base, but when you wanna take a look on your discoveries, it's kind of hard to tell what it actually shows you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit buggy, but the concept behind it I like. But you're saying that everything's been found now? Has Frontier confirmed that?
I don't know.
What makes you say that?
I've just read it on Reddit and forums from some people. Can't confirm if it's true, but I get the notion.
I think
if everything in the codex is already visible to people, and you can just go and
I think the thing is when you go to a new galactic region, and then only displays the first thing that has been discovered there, which is not really useful, I would say, because when you go exploring, you're not looking for the first thing that has been discovered by anyone. You want to discover things by yourself.
Yeah, I haven't been using it much, so I don't know if those allegations are true.
It's just kind of weird thing about it.
Okay, so I need to then maybe rethink my answer to that question. But at the moment, I mean, I love the concept behind it, and I hope Frontier are going to use it in the future. When they introduce things, they're going to use the codex. You know, that's all part of my love of the latest update. It's really rekindled my excitement.
One really interesting thing though is in the knowledge base there's this entry about the Dark Wheel, and in the description it gives a new clue that hasn't been there, and people are now searching for that very clue, and that's really interesting to see actually. And also of course the hunt for Roxler, but yeah, like expected, we didn't get any more clues for that one.
Yeah, that hasn't really come to anything yet, has it?
It keeps the roleplay going, I think.
Yeah. The Dark Wheel one is really interesting. Let me pull that up on the stream. Actually, oh, it was the wrong button. To show you what I actually mean. So. According to SurfPro, first Dark Wheel expert Lita Crane, a conspiracy theorist and people's journalist who has painstakingly assembled an archive of relevant data, the original group was based in a disused starport orbiting the 8th moon of an unnamed gas giant. The station was toroid, hence real, and operated with a minimal power output so as to avoid detection, hence dark. And on the upper right corner you can see a screenshot of a station with a star really close by, and people are now searching for that exact station.
That reminds me of that competition, when there was a competition like, if anyone can find this place, then I can't remember what the prize was, and they just gave like one single screenshot. I remember hunting for that, and we had to look for like that particular arrangement of stars and nebulas and stuff, and I never ended up finding it. I love that sort of stuff, I really do.
Yeah, not exactly brute forcing it, because having an 8th moon gas giant this close to a red star is pretty rare. So really just analyzing data and at the moment.
Right.
But interesting. I'm very curious if they find it.
I'm sure someone will eventually.
Hmm. 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 Yeah, I can't
Are
say
we on?
much.
Are we live?
Which leads us to our next questions. Um, has space madness ever affected you?
Yeah, that.
I think I'm immune because I'm already mad, but everyone says that. So, no. I think I'm more sane when I'm out in the black than I am
Okay,
anywhere else.
only mad people say that. Get the white jacket.
Yeah.
What about you? Are you space mad yet?
Well, our job is to prevent space madness.
Yeah.
So that kinda is part of the job, I guess.
Yeah, we have to be mad for the others. So look at Shank, he's the best example. And straight after that comes me. But yeah,
I was gonna
it's a
say
different kind of madness.
that we're about to leave Explorers Anchorage and head out into the real black. You know,
Oh yes.
other side of the core.
That is what
If madness
Henka
is gonna
said.
happen.
Henka said that's the point where the expedition really starts for him.
Oh, guys, I need to tell you, I really I dreamt last night. I dreamt about going to Sag A,
Yeah.
and it took me like 60 jumps from Explorers Anchorage to Sag A.
So you went in a spiral.
Which is less than 4 light years, yeah. And I never got there. I woke up at some point, but that's just
That's space madness.
tells you how. Yeah, it tells you how much I it tells you my mindset. Yes.
I actually have to remember to hit the actual waypoint 7 before we go. I don't want to miss it. Haven't been in that system yet.
I don't believe I have been to a single mass jump since Palani.
I'm not talking about the mass jump, but the waypoint system,
but
so we get the 100% completion on EDSM.
Yes, but still, I still have to partake in one of the meetups or even one of the mass jumps because we crashed the server last time I was part of it.
We got one going for tomorrow. Still got some spaces left. There's a form on the forums where you can sign up.
Well, I wanna decide spontaneously. So I can't tell for sure. So I don't wanna apply if I can't be there. So meh.
Okay.
I really like these mass jumps. I'm so happy that stuff like this is happening. I remember, you know, that was a brand new thing in Distant Worlds, and we had to organize it from on high. But now all these things are happening naturally, and everyone's really trying to get involved. And I'm so happy that we created like a platform.
I remember seeing a video of kind of a reverse thing of that a mass drop in.
Yeah.
On a planet, so surface.
That's really cool. Yeah, that sounds cool.
We are going to organize such a thing at Beagle Point again.
Yeah, maybe. That sounds like something that was mentioned in Distant Worlds 1, and I can't remember what became of that. So many things have happened in this massive galaxy.
I somewhere saw a video of it.
I only saw Turgeon's sides of Distant Worlds 1. Yet. I still have to catch up on Hookers. Yeah, Turgeon. And the other vlogs I haven't watched yet.
Right.
Well, Turgeon's isn't really a vlog, but the best way to get introduced to such an expedition.
He shows some of the shenanigans.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
like,
those two,
the canister of rock.
Those two are veterans from Distant Worlds 1.
Yes.
So, like, I hope that's happening now as well, that we're getting a load of new streamers and stuff,
yes,
including yourselves.
Yeah, we are streaming right now, so
yes. I've also been recording some videos on stuff that I found along the way, or sometimes a little bit besides the way, but I still have to upload them.
Oh, by the way, James,
Hmm.
you know we want exclusive broadcasting rights on the races and events you guys do at Beagle Point, right?
Sure.
Exclusive.
So if we see anyone else streaming, we'll shoot them out of the sky.
Exactly. We want lethal force applied.
Yeah. We're allowed
No,
to
we
break the
don't.
rules because we're the
We
organisers,
actually
so we'll do it.
no, we don't want it to. We just want, of course, like Kenny did an excellent example on the race last week. Well, was it last week? Yeah, it's 1 week ago. He just did an awesome commentary on the Canyon race on Xbox, and yeah, I think we want to do that on the other great events too.
I actually got an idea for a race at starting at Darwin's Legacy on Beagle Point 2 or 3 was it? Can't quite remember. Basically the thing that we did on the Beagle Point expedition and Dead End Circumnavigation meetup. It's just a straight downhill race on a really bumpy surface.
Oh.
That's
Yeah,
what the ski team are doing actually. In a sense, they're doing it on slippery slopes.
Yeah, I
don't know
have
if
to
you've heard
check
about the
that
ski
one.
team.
I have to check
They're a
that
mud
one.
club.
I'm really interested. I'm a real life skier, so. that
Oh yeah,
made me
I've never
curious.
skied in my life. Love to. Yeah, I don't know if they want to be too publicized, because then they might just explode and get bigger than they can manage. But I can't help but being proud and telling everyone that a ski team has emerged from distant worlds, as well as all the other cool things that have.
Yeah, it's awesome. I still need to find an event where I myself take part in. Oh,
I also
bad
took part
ending of a sentence.
in the speedball event. That was fun.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I didn't get a
really-
chance.
Yeah, I really missed it too. So I caught wind of it too late, and yeah, didn't have time to prepare or anything, or even.
What was kind of
learn what
events
it was.
will happen again in the bubble. So even if
Yeah.
you can't do it now,
in the
you will
bubble. Well,
at some
man.
point have the time
Yeah,
to
no,
do.
Still though,
on Distant
now's-
World too.
Now is really the time to do it, because we have this special magic in the air right now that you can literally just say, hey guys, there's a really cool thing happening over here, and then like 250 people will just show up, whereas once Distant Worlds 2 is over, it's not going to be as easy.
Yes,
It's just not.
exactly.
Yeah, it's mostly
But
war
hopefully-
groups, but there's still stuff
Yeah.
happening. It's not like there isn't anything happening outside of expeditions.
True. True.
Mm-hmm.
This world, the gaming world has changed a lot since Distant Worlds. But then again, I don't want to claim all the credit. There was loads of cool stuff happening that had nothing to do with Distant Worlds, and it's still happening to this day.
Yeah, I still
So-
wanted to say it before. Without you and without Aramis, this whole thing wouldn't have happened. So,
Well, without
so
me,
you still
Aramis,
can
and
take
lots
some
of
of the
luck.
credit. You can still take some of the credit.
Okay,
Well-
but we got lucky. We could have announced it and nothing could have happened. We just got lucky. Other people have tried and announced things and nothing's happened, and I don't
Yeah, I
want
was so happy to find out
Claim.
about Distant Worlds 2. I actually wasn't expecting there to be a second expedition, though. So I really was happy.
We'll never stop making them. We'll never stop making them. They might be years apart, but they might not. Eventually, might be taken out of our hands. Maybe I'll quit one day. I don't
Well,
know. But
They almost take an entire year, so they should be some more, a little longer than a year apart at least.
yeah, it's true. That is very
People
true.
don't want to be on an expedition constantly, of course.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
smaller ones happening every now and then. So
Yeah, it's what I get burnt out if I jump around too much, and I missed the bubble. And
Yeah.
after Distant Worlds 1, I missed it so much. I literally just a buckyboard all the way back, and didn't leave until Distant Worlds 2, basically.
that's also why I took
Nice.
the opportunity here at Express Anchorage to do some combat
either.
with
Yeah,
bounty hunting community goal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There may not be a bubble when we get back, though. That's the problem. What I hear.
Yes.
Good thing we left when we did.
Well, I'm looking forward to not there being a bubble, a bubble not being there.
What?
Yes. Yeah, I
dark.
like the idea. I like the idea of well, as things are going, people aren't really taking care of the Thargoid problem, so it serves them right.
It's a problem of their own making,
And
though.
serves us right that we just left in the right time.
Yeah.
We deserve that too. We can just go to Colonia and sit back and watch as the bubble burns.
Sure.
I didn't leave
But
without throwing
I
some
do
kicks,
like
though.
Pardon?
Come again?
I didn't leave without throwing them some kicks, though.
Yeah, me neither. We tried as hard as we can. Yeah, I'm just looking through the questions. The general ones are answered. Is there anything on YouTube or Twitch?
We've got
Someone asked over here a question.
Cheyenne's Geek just saying a thank you for everything.
Yeah.
I also
you're
got
welcome
some
for
of that
everything.
on the Discord. People just saying thank you for all that you did.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was a pleasure, and it wasn't just me. I have to say that because it really wasn't. And all the people that did loads more than me, even hearing me get thanked, might think, "Hey!" But if I could name some big names of people that contributed, I'm wary of doing this because I have ADHD. I'm gonna miss someone really key, and I'm gonna feel so bad. So whoever I miss, telling you now, I'm sorry. I will mention your name as publicly as I can as soon as possible. But let's take a moment to thank Cohen Leth. Cohen Leth.
Oh yes.
Cohen Leth has done everything that all the other organizers have done combined times 6. And what did he get for it? Loads and loads and loads of salt. And he deserves us all to kiss his feet and apologize and thank him and say, is there anything we can do? Can we give you loads of money? He did the roster. He did he dealt with like loads of modding related things on the FleetCom server. He has been an organizer since the beginning. I can't even begin to list all the many things he's done.
Sticking envelopes.
Yeah, Satsuma we should thank for dealing with FleetCom, the private group, as well as organizing the science team and lots of behind the scenes work that I can't mention, and being an all-round awesome person who has never ever been thanked enough. Cancro Vantas, the head of SEP, who we are so privileged to have with us and do it. Like, I can't even tell you half the stuff he does because a lot of it is secret, but he does so much behind the scenes stuff to help us dealing with a lot of the difficult things that I couldn't deal with. All the helpers on the FleetCom, all of our organizers. I'm going to stop here again because I'm gonna risk like forgetting people, but I really wanted to mention those 3 people. Now because I don't think they've been thanked enough, not even close.
Yeah, you can't thank them enough, and we can't thank you enough.
Yeah, I've done my share, and Aramis also. I mean, he gets thanked all the time, so maybe he doesn't need another one. I'm sure.
we will talk with him later, I guess.
No.
Oh, I can see Aramis. Oh, screaming. Oh no, I don't get thanked enough.
No, Aramis doesn't get thanked enough because if people knew what he did, I think people do know what he's done. I hope anyway, but he has done the route.
I've noticed his name a few times on the waypoints.
Yeah, he's responsible for making the maps and loads of things. But his big thing that I don't even know how he does is making the maps and planning the route. He's always going to Beagle Point and back. I think he's probably been there 20 times. He's taken like 3 or 4 characters there. He's gone in the beta, he's gone in the live game 2 or 3 times. When 3.3 came out, he went and checked all the routes, all the waypoints again to make sure nothing bad had happened. He's
wow.
He's always changing his mind about the route, like and things are happening that you don't know that never really get revealed. But like our next waypoint, I think is something that we've just changed our mind about. So for example, he said on Friday, hey, should we go mining on Saturday? It's like, yeah, let's do it. And then I log in on Saturday and say, hey, Aramis, should we mine now? And he goes, oh, I can't. I'm just checking out waypoint 8. And I'm like, okay, where are you? He's like, oh, I looked on my thing and he's 7,500 light years away. And then he came back and, oh my goodness. Yeah, Aramis, we are in your debt, all of us.
Yeah, really grateful.
And every single organizer, I can't stress how many organizers we have and how every single one of them has gone above and beyond, all for free. Most of them not necessarily getting any glory for it. Not that I think that anyone's doing it for the glory. I think everyone's doing it for just the privilege of being able to contribute to the happiness of 13,000 people and the betterment of the game and the galaxy. The Rock Rats, the IMU, Polish Dan, they live and breathe mining.
The Hull Seals. Don't forget the Hull
The
Seals.
Hull Seal.
Oh.
The Hull Seals and Fleet Mechanics, Alex Brentnall and his crew and the people he works with and the people that he works alongside have really added something new. They've created like a whole new talent, a whole new thing to do, which is rescuing people.
A whole new pool of madness.
Yeah, exactly. So I really have to stop, otherwise I'm just gonna end up mentioning everyone and we'll be here for 3 hours. But every single person, every time you see someone with a badge organizer, you need to realize that you're in the presence of greatness. You really are. You're in the presence of someone who you owe more than you can possibly know to. So anytime you see an organizer, Sajime, a Mad Raptor, the geology department, I've got to stop. But,
yeah, it's really.
So anytime anyone ever thanks me, please realize that you're not just thanking me. Maybe I've been somehow managed to, for no good reason, become like one of the public faces of Distant Worlds. But every thanks that goes to me is magnified 10 times to everyone else that I've worked with, have the privilege of working with, including you guys.
We should do
Distant Radio.
Show. Yeah, we should do an entire show on thanking people.
Yeah, we should. And I'm going to. When we get to Beagle Point, I'm going to make sure that I have a well thought out 1 hour speech on thanking people and make it or something. Because that's at least as long as it should take.
I'm already moved.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, good, he says.
Should be.
That's the plan.
Yeah, so it's and there's been a lot of hell, especially on the FleetCom servers. You know, a lot of difficult things that I have not wanted to deal with, and there's been a lot of people dealing with that, and obviously they get, you know, being an admin, being a moderator, being a helper, it always comes with its own unique, special kind of hell that only a moderator could possibly know about. And I'm really grateful to all the moderators and people that have had to deal with that. Really grateful.
Yeah, me too. So
yeah,
thanks again, guys, if you're listening. Or watching. Yeah. Yes. So
someone did ask another question. Is there going to be a shipyard at Explorer's Anchorage? The answer is no.
Where did you get that question?
Where did I get that question?
Yeah.
In your own Discord, the radio chatter. It was from Mega. No, it wasn't. It was from Nikita Draken.
What?
Yeah, a lot of people were asking for a shipyard.
Oh. Really, I didn't even see that question. Sorry.
Yeah, I was looking at interview questions. That's why we got that channel. So
I'm keeping an eye on that channel, so I've got it covered. Don't worry.
Yeah, but
alright.
It's much going on radio chatter.
Yeah, this Discord also grew really large. Never expected that.
How many people have you got?
Let me just check for an exact number. Members, we've got 1,276 members.
Whoa!
Yes.
I thought you were going to say like 100. I was going to be like, oh, well done. That's really cute. And bloody hell, seriously?
Yes. And,
that's incredible.
Yeah, it is. Well, there are not everyone is active, of course. That's always the case. Well, maybe not at FleetCom. Well, I'm still afraid of looking at FleetCom.
Oh, FleetCom does have dead chat hours. It does.
Yeah. Probably those hours I should check out most. But still, I'm pretty happy with the number of users on our Discord and the activity that's going on. Because, yeah, well, I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it the least.
That's really cool.
No, Cheng, I'm not gonna ask that. Okay.
I missed
It's
it.
not
Okay, I
just
gotta do it.
pineapple,
I
Shank.
gotta. Okay, okay.
It's what's
James,
it called?
Yeah.
pineapples on pizza, yes or no?
No.
Ah, there you go.
Actually, I've never tried it, but I already know I'm not gonna like it. But then again, I'm not arrogant enough to presume I know what I'm gonna like or not like until I've tried it. So.
Maybe for my part, I
But-
don't like pineapples at all. So that isn't really a question
Well,
for me.
Oh, I love
the thing
pineapple
is,
juice.
it has to be pineapple and ham.
Yeah,
Then it's okay.
probably that
Then it's
Hawaii
okay.
style.
It's not great, but it's okay. It's not bad at all. But I don't know who had the idea of putting pineapple on pizza.
I like my pizzas extremely well
It's
done.
really crazy.
Without, I mean, yeah, I think toppings affect the cheese in a way that I don't like. They make it harder to get well done to the point that I like it. So I generally don't have toppings, but I have lots of spices, and I have this thing called pizza sauce. I'm not sure where it originates, but it's basically some concoction of ketchup and mayonnaise and a few spices, garlic, and.
Oh, garlic.
Oh no, we're talking about food. Don't do that.
I just ate some good.
Food is a fun topic.
Yes, but not the topic of
What
the
is
day.
the most weird food you've ever tasted?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Of course.
I don't know. I'm pretty boring when it comes to food. Weird food.
Marmite.
I've had a form of haggis before.
Haggis.
That's brave.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was like a Yemenite haggis, like equivalent. I can't remember what it was called. Pretty good. I don't think it was real sheep stomach though. It was probably something else.
Okay.
But no, I haven't got a fun answer to that question. I'm sorry, I'm
There
pretty boring
must
guy.
be a reason it's a delicacy. So.
Yeah. I'd love to try shark. I hear that's disgusting, but I would love to try it. But I don't think I ever will.
Shark.
Various reasons.
I've heard that it tastes like pork schnitzel.
It tastes very acidic unless you prepare it properly. Got.
Okay. Yeah.
It's got like
Which is just need a
ammonia.
proper
It
chef
tastes
to
like
do
very
it.
ammonia. Yeah.
I think the most weirdest thing I've ever tasted is algae.
Mhm.
It's in Indian food, but it was really good.
Indian food.
Yes, some
Yeah.
sort of
Algae.
seagrass stuff, fried. It was really
Strange.
good, actually.
Have you got any other actual questions for me, or?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Let me
I was
have a
just
look.
I was just joking in my mocking tone just then. By the way,
Shark.
you can ask me whatever you want. I like jalapeno a lot. I can handle
Yeah,
my
guys,
chili.
stop with the food questions. Meat feast or pepperoni?
I love meat.
Yeah,
Meat.
I couldn't go without meat entirely, but
So you like anime, by the way? Which animes did you watch?
oh, I love anime. I've been watching anime since about 20 years now,
Cool.
or about not since 4, and my favorites are Ergo Proxy, Steins Gate. Wait, let me just check. There's so
I
many.
don't know any of them.
There's so many of great anime. Yeah, well, I've been lucky with anime because I actually got into anime just about when the actual anime boom in the West started happening in the 2000s. Where actually, well, I also watched Akira and stuff like that, but most of it is. Oh, one of my favorite animes is the Dot series. Then, of course, Death Note, Jigoku Shoujo, Genshiken, Guilty Crown, Elfenlied, yeah, Ergo Proxy I already said, Eve no Jikan, Eve of the East. I have got a whole list of animes that I consider must-see.
What about child series anime like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Sailor Moon and stuff like that. Did you watch those too?
Well, Case Closed is the English name, Detective Conan, but he's not. Is he called Conan in the English dubbed version? I don't know, but it's in Japanese OV. It's Conan. But there's so many series I couldn't possibly name them all right now, because even on my list there's some of them missing, and there's anime like Bartender or Mushishi that are just so niche. You never would find them if you wouldn't be active in the anime community and actively searching for anime that stands out from the rest, because if you just watch stuff like Naruto and One Piece, those are great too. No, God forbid, I won't talk bad about those, but those are a genre of anime I've grown out of by now.
Right. We've got a new question now. Pretty interesting one, actually.
Wait, before we change the topic, I just have to say I'm the biggest Dragon Ball Z fan on the planet. I'm not ashamed of that, and nothing can ever beat it. Maybe it can, but
I just lost all respect for you.
Okay, fine. I don't care. I don't care.
I like Dragon Ball.
Bleach is slightly better than Dragon Ball in some ways, but I just have a heart for Dragon Ball. Like.
Okay, now you get my respect back.
Goku is my hero. Goku is my ultimate hero.
What about One Piece?
I like the first Dragon Ball, so.
Yeah, I liked One Piece. These are the only animes I've really seen: One Piece, Bleach, and Dragon Ball. Anyway, we can change the topic now. Go on.
If you want recommendations, ask me. I've got a ton of them.
Sure. I'm not
your favorite genre.
in the market for a new TV series just yet. Yeah, I'm watching Merlin at the moment on Netflix. Love it.
I haven't seen that yet.
It's about It's a King Arthur's like modern take, and it's really lovable and hilarious, and it's noble and all the good things.
Okay, we got questions. Scaleos has been asking if there's one.
Wait, I interrupted someone who was about to ask me a question. I don't want to be rude.
That's the same one. That's the same one.
Okay, if there's one thing you would change about Elite Dangerous, what would it be? What about exploration? Would you change? Oh, those are multiple questions. Sorry. Just the first one now.
Okay, well, it depends what you mean by change. You mean improve, or what I should ask them to work on next, or what something that's already there that should be changed,
or something new that you would want to put there, or something that you want to remove, or I don't know. It could be anything.
I think my main goal, my main interest right now is for them to improve planets. I think planets look great from space, and they look great till about when you basically get into orbital cruise and start going down from there. Then they look worse and worse and worse until you get down to the lowest level of detail when you actually see the texture of the planet itself. I feel like it's PlayStation 2 graphics at that point, and there's loads of things about it that could be improved, like the variation in the geology, caves. I don't know. I just
try your PS2 now and tell me if it's a PS2 graphics.
I think it is. I think it's N64 graphics at best. When you're down on the ground,
it's worse every time. So it's.
We're talking about when I say graphics.
Super Nintendo graphics, yes.
When I talk about graphics, I mainly mean textures, because obviously it's got higher detail in terms of the polygons, but not that much. And the texture itself is just so plain and washed out.
There's some settings, even ED Profiler doesn't enable you to change, that actually can improve those things very much. I think my planets look a lot better than before I increased, for example, the atmosphere steps in the game.
Yeah,
that's an option you don't have included in ED Profiler, I think, because that actually determines the amount of cloud layers and stuff like that there are there between the beginning of the atmosphere and the surface of the planet, and that makes the planet shine much more detailed, for example.
Well, put it this way: if I could like make my perfect planet, it would have the geology of Space Engine, with the addition of like some of the additional features like caves that No Man's Sky has, and it would have the surface textures of No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky surfaces are amazing. They're like all 3D and bumpy, and there's little fossils in the ground, and you know. just love it. And obviously, my next, my most wanted feature is atmospheric landing, followed by procedural life. That would
Oh
just
yeah, I think
before
there's
space legs even, I'd take it.
yeah, atmospheric landing will probably introduce some new modules to the ships because you have to think of heat shields and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty much looking forward to that too.
A lot of people.
I can't wait for
do, I
it.
think.
But I will, as long as it takes. Let them get it right rather than rush it.
So the next questions from Scarius was, what about exploration? Would you change anything? Yeah, I think that already got answered with the first question, because that was already
probably.
about exploration in a sense. Or is there anything else that you would want to change, improve,
Just
add?
add loads more things to find. I'd love it if they dropped every other aspect of the game and just focused on exploration, and just added a billion new types of alien life.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I really enjoy combat, but yeah.
I kind of do. I wouldn't say I
Combat is
really
fine like
enjoy
it is. It's okay like it is. They can put their effort into exploration, I think.
I mean, anyone who's played a game like League of Legends or something like that will know that combat can be so much better than... There's not too much strategy in Elite Dangerous combat, to be honest. There's a bit, and a lot of it comes down to how good a pilot you are, so I really enjoy that aspect.
I think they kind of went into the right direction when they added the new scenarios, where you can like choose to defend or attack a megaship, for example. And I think they have to do more stuff like that. And really scenarios that do have influence of on the system they are in, and actually change things. Also from a lore perspective, like right now it feels like the lore about the game is kinda dead. There's not much going on that really matters.
Oh, do you know what I was thinking, like literally yesterday? That should be this game. If you think about it, it's like they've got something like 10,000 human inhabited systems. The scope for story is just limitless. Like if they could somehow figure out a way, I think they shot themselves in the foot when they said that only people who get a certain level of Kickstarter level are able to write any official canonized stories.
The writer's package.
Yeah. Like, if you think about it, if they could just, create a website where... Like, an officially sanctioned website where if you've got a faction in the game, that, like a player faction, they've already allowed that, so you can have your own factions. If you've got one, then you have... And the system and they let you put it in that system, then you have the rights to write the story of that system. Like, what happens there, like, what the history is, what came about of it. And they kind of did that a bit. Sometimes if you look on a system, like you'll see some story there, but can you think about the scope? Like you could literally just fly around reading the stories of the systems and thinking about them and saying, wow, I'm in the system where this and that happened. And or you could say, I want my own system and write my own stories. And that would be great. Love that. That would add so much to the game.
The universe is already so big with so many potential stages that are waiting to be used to tell some awesome stories. Also notice that Drew Vega actually created the prison system.
Who?
Drew Vega. Yeah. He created the prison system.
Oh, right. Cool. I didn't know that. Did Michael Brooks create the... What system was in his book? Legacy?
I haven't read that.
Begins with P, I think, as well. Someone's going to type it in the text, I'm sure. Sonator.
No, that
wasn't it. But I like that picture.
And the penalty system? P, penalty?
Whatever. Anyway, by the way, Urahara was my favorite captain. I think, even though he's an old captain.
Yeah, thanks. Unfortunately, there aren't any real photos of me cosplaying Urahara. But
it's a shame.
Yeah, I was the one taking the photos. I was the one taking the photos.
Fair enough.
Um,
So, any other questions?
are there any other questions?
I'm feeling a little bit under the weather.
Are.
Okay, go for it.
Unknown is asking what are your top 3 space games, and I think you kind of actually answered 2 of those already, which are Elite Dangerous and No Man's
I've
Sky.
mentioned all 3. Yeah, and Space Engine. Don't think I
and
play any
Space
others. Do I? At least not since the N64 days, like Jet Force Gemini.
Wait,
and
come
stuff.
again? X, Space Engine, and
X? No, I
Well,
never played X. Space
okay.
Engine, No Man's Sky, and Elite
oh
Dangerous.
yeah, of course, No Man's Sky. Excuse me.
They at least
blanked
have.
out. But
If you consider Borderlands a space game, because it is kind of you're on an alien planet, then I like Borderlands
Okay.
a
Yeah.
lot.
It's a whole different thing,
Did I?
though.
what about Kerbal Space
It's-
Program?
Never played it.
Okay, try it.
I might. I might indeed. I like Universe Sandbox in VR. That's really a lot of fun. The VR version is basically all about smashing
A
planets together.
kind of new game that really looks interesting is Astroneer. I think that Josh Hawkins is playing that right now.
The graphics are a bit too bad for my liking. I know I'm a snob, but I've always been the one person among my group of friends who absolutely has to have good graphics in a game. I can't play retro games. I can't play, graphics mean so much to me because when I play a game, I need immersion, and immersion and graphics.
I've got
go
a
hand in hand.
really interesting and already also long discussed question from Lute. What does Dr.Kaii think about the long wait for the next big update?
I'm fine with it. I'm really fine with it. Elite Dangerous is not my only game, so if they want to take a break and work on something really big, so long as it turns out to be worth the wait, I am totally fine with it. I will play Elite Dangerous less, play other games more, which I welcome, and then in a year and a half's time, I'll have a lovely surprise that's been a year in the making. But that's just me. I'm not normally a patient person, so I'm not trying to take any high ground by saying that. I just am okay with it, really am. I took a 2-year break from the game recently anyway, so yeah. I'm not sure if anyone else has anything. Lots of other things have been discussed about that I'm sure that I missed, and probably I'm saying something stupid that,
Well, still,
like,
if
but
they
it
take their
seems okay
time,
to me.
it's always better.
I hope it doesn't kill the game, but I don't see why it would. It just means the game will get a rebirth in a year and a half.
Yeah, I mean, we've
That's what I
still
think.
got a long way to go on the expedition, so
Yeah, also got a really long bucket list of things to do.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I think it would be rushed to introduce new content that soon, even if people, well, their attention span seems to be that short that they need new stuff every now and then. But I think 1.5 years isn't that long. Well, if you look at No Man's Sky, to actually deliver on their promise, they took over a year. It took almost 2 years, if I remember correctly.
I think
And
the larger issue
was worth the
with
wait, I
that
think.
people have is that Frontier are not really telling what they are developing. They're just saying
Well,
there's something coming, but they don't
that's
even
just
hint
marketing
what.
psychology. It's just marketing psychology, and if people don't get that, they I don't want to talk about talk bad about anyone, but I think it's just marketing psychology, and yeah.
Yeah, who knows? That's their own way of doing it. Some companies like to promise the world.
I also
24/7.
do like the way they introduce unannounced content into the game.
Yeah, I guess I'm biased because I'm the kind of guy, on the scale of how much you hate spoilers. Like, some people are totally fine with spoilers. Some people want spoilers. Some people want to read the entire plot of a movie before they see it. And that's one extreme. And the other extreme is people don't even want to know the name of a movie before they watch it.
Sometimes I'm either
on
side
that
of
extreme.
that.
Yeah. So no, I hate spoilers. I love surprises. It's one of the best things in life, surprises. It's so hard to come by a really genuine surprise. And I'll do anything to increase the level of surprise. So I'm happy that they don't tell you what's coming. I'm
Okay,
disappointed
so
when
if
it turns
I-
out to be something I really don't care about.
So if I recommend you some series, I just should mention the name at most.
If the name has nothing to do with the plot, like Bleach, then say, oh, there's a good anime called Bleach, watch it, then fine. But if it's something like Mission to Mars, then that's already told me what the first 15 minutes of the movie is going to be about, and it's just going to be 15 minutes of waste of time for me.
Stuff like that to you.
It's difficult, I admit, because you can't sell something to me either.
Maybe
by selling it to me, you put me off it. I admit that it isn't a perfect system.
Okay. So Metacognitive asks, if you had to add a minigame to Elite Dangerous, what would it be?
Snake.
No, it would be Asteroid, wouldn't it?
Space Invaders.
Space Invaders, a minigame.
I think what would
I'm
have
not
been
good at
really cool
answering
if you would be able to play the original Elite in Elite Dangerous.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah, no, you know what? It would be nice, in general, if that thing that is underneath you, that little screen, they've removed it. Do you remember? I just realised there used to be a screen between your legs. So anyway, you guys probably started the game after that was removed because they added the planetary landing menu there. But there used to be a little screen there, and people always say, "Why don't you put like an internet browser there and things like that?" If they bring some kind of little mini screen in the game where you could type notes, you could browse the real internet, you could play little games, then yeah, I can't tell you what game I'd like to see there. Maybe They Are Billions. Have you ever played that? That's like a nice little game that they could squeeze into another game. A little
I
indie
heard
game.
about it.
It's like a cross between a RTS / tower defense game.
The zombie apocalypse.
/ survival game. Yeah, it's really good. So that's my answer. That's the game that I play. Or you know what? Even better, FTL. There you go. FTL. That's the best. That's the most like appropriate mini game to add to Elite. Probably like 200 megabyte update. You could play FTL while you're traveling to Hutton Orbital.
Oh, if anyone from FDev is listening to this, please get in touch with the FTL devs and make this happen.
Who made it? Was it Introversion or one of them?
I don't know the name.
I think it's Introversion.
We have to look it up. Let's just look it up and actually mention the name for...
Seeing as this is a VR game, that would be so good. Can you imagine being able to browse the internet while in your Oculus headset? Like looking up eddb.io and checking things.
Oh, I know people
watching
who
YouTube.
Know that. I haven't played the game in VR yet because, well, money.
You come to my house.
It's been Subset Games has been developing FTL.
Oh, okay.
So, Subset Games, if you are listening, get in touch with FDev and make this happen. Yes, okay. Are there any more questions? Doesn't look like it, or are there any I missed? Nagi.
Fatbug is asking if you can say anything about behind the scenes talks with Frontier.
No, I've signed an NDA.
I guess.
Everything behind the scenes that I've discussed with them that I can reveal has been revealed already. Haven't spoken to them in a while. At least I've spoken to... No, that's a lie. I have. But the original meeting that I had with them was for them to... basically, as I say, we almost cancelled Distant Worlds once they released that announcement that the ice planets and all that weren't going to come in. We based it all around that, and every aspect of the things that we were looking forward to got removed. We nearly cancelled it. Then they invited all the streamers and other community members to that day in Cambridge, where they demonstrated the codex and all the other stuff that was coming, and because I guess I kicked up a bit of a stink about it, but either way they got in touch with me and said, right, well, we're going to tell you about everything as well, because I guess you need to know about it because you're already like mentioning that you want to delay Distant Worlds. And once they told me about all that stuff, I was sold. I was more excited than even before about the expedition. So I guess that's my behind-the-scenes rant about Frontier. Revelation, I guess.
Sounds good.
Dark secrets we were mentioning at the beginning.
Yes, exactly.
Guess so.
Just the stuff we want.
Yeah.
All the scoops.
What?
Okay,
Can you
That's
pat
a
your
scoop.
head whilst rubbing your stomach and hopping on one leg? What the hell?
in VR.
Can't remember. I'm not going to try it now. Because you'll be able to
There
see.
we go.
I could just lie and say, hey, I'm doing it.
We don't want to be responsible for your death.
Yeah,
No, we
I don't know.
want that. And especially not live on the radio.
I think we should have a celebration tomorrow before the launch, like on the main meetup location. Maybe around 5 o'clock we should start. Is there? If everyone's up for that, I'm happy to do it. We should have people bring your chaff and all the other pyrotechnics, and let's have a big celebration
Can
for
you
the
set
successful
something,
CG and all that.
Yeah, well, I would be up for it. Kenny has his regular show. Oh, God damn it, my pronunciation is just getting worse. His regular show is at 6 p.m. I don't know
Yeah.
if he actually will make it. He mentioned something about he might not miss.
Oh, I'm not talking to streamers. I'm talking to just the fleet who's listening. I think we should just have an in-game celebration.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
It
up for
could-
that.
whoever streams it, I don't mind. I'll probably stream it myself. But I just think we
Yeah,
should
okay.
we should just generally get together and have one last celebration about Explorers Anchorage before we the
Yep.
stage 3 begins and the real like grueling stuff ahead of us.
Time to
Whoever
end
comes
this.
with us after this are the true Distant World. I mean, I'm not saying people who stop here are not true Distant World. Like, you've all contributed, but people who stop here, are the ones who carry on from here, as it were. This is it. We're
the
family
others
now.
will miss out, of course. So everyone who's stopping at Explorers Anchorage, of course, will stop out, and we can just try to make them change their mind.
Yeah. I'm feeling a little
5
bit
PM
under
you
the
said,
weather,
yes?
but hopefully I'll be a lot better tomorrow. And even if I'm not, I will make sure that I'm there.
Awesome. Yeah, I will be too. I will try my best too. So
And the
5
newsletter is due out tomorrow as well. Again, it got delayed, but I think it's okay this week as well. I think we're going to skip another newsletter just while I'm talking. Probably just have a week without one. I might do another Discoveries pamphlet, though, in its place. And I think things are going to get real after this. I've already seen Waypoint 8, and I can tell you now it's stunning. It almost made me take back my comments previously about the low quality of the planets, because that planet is really, really something.
All right, I'm looking forward to it.
It's one of the things
So-
that I've most looked forward to, seeing all the cool stuff that you designated at waypoints.
Aramis, yeah, you got to thank him for that.
So should we wrap things up here? I think that
Yeah,
sounded like a good close-up.
I'm very happy to have been invited, and I really appreciate everything you guys are doing. And
Really
I'm
happy
honored.
for you to come in here.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for coming here and talking to us.
Yeah,
taking
and
the
while
time.
I've got the ear of the fleet, whoever's listening, I just want to say a big thank you to you and offer you words of encouragement for everything that you've done and everything you're going to do. And I'm just over the moon with how things are going. Really, really am. I was really... Distant Worlds 1 was a tall order to beat, and I can't believe we've actually done it, but we've done it. We're back. We're back to where we were in Distant Worlds 1. The same spirit, the same awesomeness, and just so honored and feel so privileged to be in the presence of everyone who's taking part in this expedition,
Same
the
here.
organizers, the pilots, and just how well it's going and all the awesome stuff you guys are doing. It's just, yeah, keep it up. We're making
And you
history
too.
here. We really are. I will.
We do. Yeah, well, thank you for being here. Thanks for taking the time. We know you are busy, even if you say you're not. But
All right. I'll come back. I'll come back.
yeah, and of course, thanks for listening,
Happily.
guys. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your questions. Thanks, Dr. Nagi, for coming and organizing this interview.
It was a
Yeah,
pleasure.
and thanks to myself for creating the radio.
Nah.
Yeah, no, really, thank you, Michael. It's one of the coolest ideas.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm glad I got the opportunity to do it.
Du
It's
bist
really
meine
something
Geliebte.
that made me a happier man, because yeah, it's something that gives me a little more purpose than I had before, and that's something good. So yeah, thanks for tuning in once more, and we wish you guys a good night, and see you tomorrow at the mass jump, and we hope you will be
And the celebration.
at the celebration. Yes,
Oh,
that's
by the
what
way,
I was about to say.
quick announcement
Yes.
about that one. Ghost Giraffe is asking for every possible recording of the mass jump. They want to use that footage for a new music video about Distant Worlds 2. So go grab your recording software and try to get some
Do
good
it.
shots.
Do it,
Do
do
it.
it.
Do it.
I will too.
And send it to me as well. I might make
if
a
I'm
video
not.
at some point. I'm
Yes.
probably gonna make up my own like summary video at some point. I
Okay.
wish I'd had more time to make more videos.
We
Anyway,
will remind you tomorrow again, but don't forget forget to record your mass jumps. Yes.
okay. Wishing everyone pleasant discoveries.
Yes.
May the
And,
solar winds forever be at your sail.
Yes. Okay. Once again, thank you, and we wish you guys a good night. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Yes, mine too.
Okay. That went well. Thanks very, very much. And,
Yeah, it was fun, and it
happy
was
to do it
very,
again.
very moving for a big part of it. And
I hope so.
thanks for your kind words again.
Thank you for your
And
kind words too.
we're really hoping this will keep going as well as it did.
Yeah, and I'm sure Distant Radio is going to be a permanent thing, and I wish you much, much success.
Thanks.
Okay, tschüss.
Yeah, good night. Bye bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye.
Okay. Ja, ich würde sagen, das war sehr, sehr gut.
Ja,
Ich schmeiß Craig mal raus.
sagen, er ist wirklich ein sehr, sehr fröhlicher und positiver Mensch.
Ja, ne? Und auch immer sehr, sehr, sehr entspannt. Und ich finde seine positive Art und Weise, wie er damit umgeht, einfach genial. So, obwohl da auch so viel Negatives bei passiert ist, so, das muss man in dem Falle einfach mal weglassen, weil der Mensch einfach dazu der ist einfach dazu veranlagt, das Negative viel, viel deutlicher zu sehen als das Positive, so. Und deshalb muss man halt auch wirklich jede Möglichkeit wahrnehmen, das Ganze so zu betonen und das Negative auszulassen. War super. Aber ich mache jetzt auch direkt Schluss. War ein
Ich war auch ein
anstrengender
bisschen
Tag.
müde.
Bin den ganzen Tag durch Düsseldorf gelaufen, ey. War schon heftig,
Oha.
ey. Mhm.
In Düsseldorf gibt's ein Blockhaus, das ist so geil.
Ein Blockhaus?
Ja,
Welches?
das ist eine Restaurantkette, die hier aus Hamburg kommt.
Ach so. Ja, war
Steakhouse
ich noch
ist
nicht.
das.
Ja, ich
Richtig
bin
geil.
ja meistens auf der Immermann- und Oststraße unterwegs. Immer nur in den japanischen Gegenden. Aber da war ich heute
Ach so,
noch
okay.
im japanischen Garten, beziehungsweise im japanischen Gartenteil vom Botanischen Garten in Düsseldorf. Und im Eco-Haus.
Da war ich aber noch gar nicht. Ich war zwar oft in
Da ist-
Düsseldorf, weil ich dann Freund
Wir
habe,
haben heute so eine
aber
kleine Sightseeing-Tour gemacht durch Düsseldorf. Halt mit dem Eco-Haus. Das ist halt auch so ein japanisches Haus in Düsseldorf. Dann natürlich halt die Einkaufsstraßen mit den ganzen japanischen Läden. Und dann waren wir Nudelsuppe essen und so Gedöns.
okay. Ich weiß, dass es in Hamburg eine Ramen-Bar gibt, nur die hat immer so beschissene Öffnungszeiten, deswegen komme ich dann hier hin, um das mal zu probieren.
Naja, Rahmenbar muss gucken, was sie für Suppenbasis nehmen. Weil ich kenne welche, die nehmen halt, weil die japanische Gewürzpalette nicht jedermanns Sache ist, nehmen die halt tatsächlich einfach Hühnerbrühe. Und
Ich meine,
das ist
die
dann einfach,
bieten
das
ganz
ist kein
viele-
Rahmen, weißt du?
Ich meine, die bieten ganz verschiedene Varianten an, ganz viele.
Ja, also wenn du dann nicht so die typischen Sorten wie Miso
Mhm.
und so als Auswahl kriegst, so, dann ist der Laden
Ich habe
kacke.
bisher nur einmal in einem Restaurant koreanisches Ramen gefunden. Und ich
Das
fand
ist auch gut, also das kommt schon ziemlich nah ran.
ich fand's aber ein bisschen zu überwürzt.
Ja, die Sache ist, wenn wir nächstes Jahr nach Japan fahren, dann kriegst du mal richtigen Rahmen gegessen. So,
Das ist wahrscheinlich das
freu ich mich schon
Einzige, was
richtig
ich da
drauf.
essen werde, weil ich mag keinen Fisch oder
Na,
nur wenige
was?
Arten von Fisch.
Digga, wenn du in Japan Fisch isst, dann magst du Fisch. Dann magst du halt nur richtig guten Fisch, so. Aber die Sache ist, das Sushi in Japan, das schlechteste Sushi in Japan, ist so gut, ist noch besser als das beste Sushi, was du hier in Deutschland kriegst. Auch wenn du in Hamburg oder so wohnst. Das ist, selbst da ist der Fisch
Ich habe noch
immer noch,
nie
also
Sushi
Sushi
gegessen,
ist nicht
deswegen
so geil.
keine Ahnung.
Die Sache ist, es gibt ja nicht nur Fisch-Sushi, es gibt ja auch vegetarisches Sushi und allen möglichen Kram. Wenn wir in Japan sind und wenn wir uns dann mit Shank treffen, so dann, der wird uns da schon die richtigen Sachen zeigen, so.
Ich glaub,
Der wohnt da seit 10 Jahren.
Ja, er meinte, er isst die ganze Zeit nur Pizza und Burger.
Ja, normal, er ist halt Ami. Na, die Sache ist, ich kenne ja nicht nur ihn da, ich kenne halt auch
Ja,
den
wen bist du?
The Anime Man, mit dem ich mich auf jeden Fall treffen will. Mit Joey.
Ein Freund von mir
Und,
kennt auch jemanden in Japan, der, glaube ich, für
dann,
irgendeine Zeitschrift was macht.
Dann ist das der Freund von meiner Schwester, deren Bruder so ist verheiratet in Japan. Und
Warte, der Freund von
der wohnt
meiner
in Tokio
Schwester,
und
der
dem seine
Bruder?
Familie.
Das ist ja
Der
jetzt
Freund meiner
Dreiecken.
Schwester. Der Bruder des Freundes meiner Schwester.
Oh Mann.
Also meine Schwester hat einen Freund, dessen Bruder.
Ja,
Ich weiß nicht, wie man das am einfachsten formulieren kann. So, auf jeden Fall, der wohnt
aber
halt
das
in
war
Japan.
schon wieder so der Moment, so über Dreiecken.
Ja, eben, so, ne? Das ist halt so
Wir haben gestern
wohnt halt in
Ant-Man
Tokio.
geguckt, das war wieder so, ja, genau die Situation. Ja, der hat mit dem und dem geredet und
der wohnt halt in Tokio, aber seine Frau wohnt halt außerhalb. So, das heißt, da kann man auch mal vorbeischauen. Mal gucken, wie die da halt ein bisschen außerhalb wohnen. Und ich habe halt die goldene Route, so heißt die Golden Route in Japan halt im Blick. So.
wo fängt
Normalerweise so, die
Ungefähr?
geht von Tokio über Hakone nach Kyoto und dann wieder zurück. Aber man kann sich halt, ich will halt
Achso,
eigentlich
nach
viel mehr
Süden,
sehen.
von Tokio aus nach Süden.
So nach Südwesten. Also
Ja,
Kyoto liegt
ja,
im
direkt nach
Südwesten
Süden
von.
geht ja nicht, weil...
Die Sache
ja.
ist so Sachen wie Osaka will man natürlich auch sehen und
Ja, klar.
und was ich auch unbedingt sehen will, ist Sendai und
Was ist denn da?
das ist ein bisschen weiter im Norden. Und dann eigentlich will ich auch nicht Yokohama, Hokkaido sehen und Okinawa und ich will eigentlich das gesamte Japan sehen. Deshalb will ich ja auch einen Monat dafür
So.
einplanen. So,
Ja, es wird bei
auch
mir
mit
wahrscheinlich
den
nicht gehen. Ich muss auch mal gucken dann wegen...
Die Sache ist,
ich werde wahrscheinlich
du
meine
musst da nicht
Ausbildung...
komplett mit dabei sein.
Ja, ich werde wahrscheinlich meine Ausbildung nicht verkürzen können. Das heißt, ich werde dann wohl noch Berufsschule haben.
Hm.
Das heißt, da muss ich dann eben auch nochmal gucken wegen Zeit und bla.
Hm.
Ich weiß, dass
Ich weiß
es
nicht, wie sich die
irgendwie...
Osterferien gestalten.
Hm?
Ich weiß nicht, wie sich die Osterferien nächstes Jahr gestalten. Vielleicht überlappen die sich ja ganz gut mit dem Hanami. Weil das ist halt
Das
die
wäre
Hauptzeit,
natürlich
wo ich in
praktisch.
Japan sein will.
Weil Ferien ist natürlich, da habe ich logischerweise
Ja.
keine Schule.
Richtig.
Was eine Sache ist... Boah, es gibt hier irgendwo, ich glaube genau, nach Saijo? So eine richtig coole Bahnstrecke, die über eine von diesen super großen Brücken geht.
In Japan gibt es ja die größte Brücke der Welt.
Nicht mehr.
Welche war das nochmal?
Nicht
Das ist
mehr.
aber auch in Tokio, glaube ich, gewesen.
Die größte, oder zumindest die längste Brücke der Welt steht inzwischen in China, weil die da einfach Viadukte bauen bis ohne Ende. Das ist ziemlich krass.
Ich weiß es nicht. Auf jeden Fall gibt es so viel in Japan zu sehen, dass ich halt diesen
Und es
einen
gibt
Monat...
irgendwie 2 Katzeninseln, eine im Norden und eine im Süden.
Ja. Und dann gibt es auch noch Fox Village, Kitsunegakure. Da will ich unbedingt hin. Die liegt im Nordwesten, so ein bisschen. Das ist so eine Insel, wo dann halt ein Fuchsdorf. Da wohnen halt die Füchse, so wie so eine Katzeninsel, nur diese eine Katzeninsel. Nee, was du meinst, ist das andere, ist keine Katzeninsel, sondern eine Kanincheninsel.
Ich habe gehört
Das gibt's
von
auch
2 Inseln tatsächlich, wo Katzen damals raufgebracht wurden, um ja, Mäuse und so ein Kram zu vertreiben.
Ja,
Und die
und
haben
dann
sich
gab es
dann
noch so eine
tierisch
Insel
vermehrt,
mit Kaninchen, wo dann tatsächlich sich Kaninchen breit gemacht haben, die aus einer Testanlage entkommen sind. Und sich
Ach,
dann
davon habe ich gehört.
ohne natürliche Feinde da wunderbar ausbreiten konnten, so.
Ja, ja.
Und, aber wo ich halt hin will, ist dieses Fuchsdorf. So, Füchse sind meine
Fuchs kriegst du
Lieblingstiere.
raus.
So.
Ja, von meinem
So,
besten Freund sind Füchse auch die Lieblingstiere.
also
Tatsächlich.
Säugetiere sind das meine Lieblings, weil ich liebe Schlangen und Spinnen auch.
Ich hasse Spinnen.
Ich weiß nicht, was alle Leute mit Spinnen haben. So. Ich meine, diese langbeinigen Weberknechte, wie sie hier normalerweise zu finden sind, so, die sind halt langweilig. Die haben halt lange Beine, kleinen Körper. Das sind für mich keine
Was
Spinnen.
mich
Das sind auch, glaube ich, keine richtigen
extrem
Spinnen.
anpisst bei Spinnen, sind immer auch die Fäden. Ich kriege die ständig ab und so und das ist immer so widerlich und.
Ja gut, das ist halt nicht angenehm, so, aber Spinnen
Ja.
sind an sich, ich finde halt diese Weberknechte sind halt unästhetisch, da kann ich auch vollkommen einstimmen. Das sind halt auch keine richtigen Spinnen. Ich glaube, das ist jetzt nicht nur eine Meinungssache, sondern die fallen noch unter eine andere Kategorie. Aber wenn ich von Spinnen rede, dann meine ich Vogelspinnen zum Beispiel, weißt du? Wenn ich hier
Kann
mit
ich mir auf Dauer nicht
Pelz,
angucken, da geht bei mir
mit
alles ab
Pelz.
irgendwie.
So, ich hatte früher einen Spielzeug-Stofftier-Vogelspinne.
Hm.
So, und die hatte halt einen
Wir
ultra weichen Pelz. Das ist das Geile so. Vogelspinnen haben halt tatsächlich die sind weicher als Katzenfell.
Ich
Stell dir das mal
hab das
vor.
auch schon von anderen Leuten gehört, aber ich weiß nicht, keine Ahnung,
Ich meine, ich weiß, dass Spinnen creepy Tiere sind, so. Ich kann das auch voll verstehen.
meine
so, aber ich hab da
komplette
so einen
Haut
so.
fängt an zu kribbeln irgendwie schon, wenn eine relativ große, wenn ich da zu nahe dran kommt und so, das ist halt,
Ja, Spinnen sind super. Ich mag Spinnen. Spinnen sind tolle Tiere. Also ich habe im Haus auf jeden Fall lieber Spinnen als irgendwelche anderen Insekten, die mir hier rumschwirren. So. Ich habe in jedem Zimmer hier habe ich eine Spinne.
I.
Ja, was heißt I? Das ist eine normal, so eine Spinne, die ist vielleicht so groß mit Beinen wie ein 10-Cent-Stück, so, weißt du? Aber die hockt halt hier oben in der Ecke, hat da ihr Netz so und ich habe halt keine Mücken, ich habe keine Obstfliegen, ich habe gar nichts in der Art so.
Die habe ich auch so nicht.
Ja, im Sommer habe ich hier leider Mücken ohne Ende so und das ist richtig scheiße so. Aber halt nicht hier in den Zimmern, wo ich eine Spinne habe. Weil das funktioniert einwandfrei so. Die Mücken kommen hier nicht mal rein, deswegen. Und Schlangen sind halt noch viel faszinierendere Tiere. Ich mag Schlangen. Snake. Snake. Aber Füchse sind halt die coolsten
Schlangen
Tiere.
ist bei mir so, keine Ahnung.
Ja, Schlangen sind für die meisten neutral. So, keiner hat wirklich Angst vor Schlangen, wobei jeder weiß,
Es gibt
Schlangen
tatsächlich
können giftig sein.
es gibt viele Leute, die Angst vor Schlangen haben, tatsächlich.
Okay, ich kenne mehr Leute mit einer Hundephobie als mehr Menschen mit einer Schlangephobie. So,
Gut, also zumindest auf 9gag anscheinend. Also ich war ja in den vergangenen Jahren relativ viel auf 9gag, heutzutage gar nicht mehr. Und da
Katzen haben Angst vor Schlangen.
Da scheint es viele Leute zu geben, die Angst vor Schlangen haben.
Katzen haben Angst vor Schlangen. Die haben ja sogar Angst vor Gurken.
Ja. Ich glaube, der Punkt ist eher, dass etwas so völlig Unerwartetes plötzlich hinter denen liegt in einem Ort, wo sie sich eigentlich sicher fühlen. Weswegen man das auch nicht sagen soll.
Aufgrund dieses viralen Videos wurde ja tatsächlich dann mal ein bisschen geforscht so und wo hat sich herausgestellt, okay, Katzen haben halt ein Problem mit Schlangen, das sind halt natürliche Feinde. So, und die Reaktion der Katze ist halt so dramatisch, weil die dann halt erstmal die Gurke tatsächlich für eine Schlange hält. So egal wie groß oder ob das jetzt stimmt, so im Augenwinkel sieht das halt aus, erstmal wie eine Schlange. Ist grün, ist lang, ist eine Schlange. So, das ist das, was da tatsächlich wohl vorgeht, so, weil die haben das dann tatsächlich mit anderen Objekten versucht und das hat dann tatsächlich, muss halt wirklich schon so eine Art Proportion von einer Schlange haben, damit das auch wirklich wirkt. Naja, wie gesagt, ich will jetzt mal Schluss machen. Ich bin müde, ich will mir jetzt noch irgendwas angucken und dann
Es gibt auch noch die Stadt Nagi. Aber ich
die
glaube,
Stadt Nagi?
Ja, tatsächlich ist der Autor von Naruto da geboren. Ja.
Nice.
Aber
da musst du dann auch hin, oder was?
Nee, muss ich nicht. Das liegt irgendwo im Landesinnern, wo man...
Also ich muss jetzt nicht unbedingt irgendwie Sachen aus Animes sehen, so, das muss ich jetzt nicht so. Das Einzige, was ich aus Anime wirklich übernommen habe, ist Ramen. Und das halt, weil es wirklich geil ist.
Ich habe Naruto noch nie geguckt oder gelesen. Davon mal abgesehen.
Das war nicht mal Naruto so, das war Kenshin. So, da gab es einmal ganz oft Ramen, so.
Ach so,
in der
wegen
Anime.
Ramen jetzt, ja.
Und dann gab es da ganz oft, wie hieß das andere? nicht Katsudon, sondern diesen Eintopf. Verdammt, ich muss es doch wissen eigentlich. Ja, Eintopf halt. Wo dann halt alles ich krieg das jetzt nicht auf die Reihe, das rauszufinden. So.
Shinjuku. Oh mein Gott, da muss ich hin.
Jetzt muss ich mal kurz googeln. Japanischer Eintopf. Jetzt wäre die Tastatur ausgegangen. Genau. Japanischer
Shinjuku Station. Der größte Abfuck-Bahnhof ever. Oh Mann.
ja, natürlich kriege ich jetzt nur Rezepte.
Ist doch gut.
Nein, ich will wissen, wie das heißt. Ich meine nicht Nabe, ich meine nicht Nikujaga, ich meine... Ich muss einfach mal japanische Gerichte googeln.
Das kann jetzt dauern.
Nee, ich gehe einfach in eine Wiki-Liste mit den wichtigsten Sachen durch. Keine Rezepte, Gerichte. Da, japanische Nationalgerichte. So, ich hoffe, das ist dabei. Boah, ich hasse euch komischen Seiten.
Ach, geil,
Was ich
das
auf jeden
ist eine
Fall probieren will,
Buchhandlung.
ist Gyoza,
Da ist ein
natürlich.
Souvenirladen. Ich bin hier gerade auf Google Maps.
Was ich auch extrem gut selber machen kann, ist Tempura. Hast du schon mal gegessen?
Nee.
Also,
Ich habe noch
magst
nie
du Garnelen?
japanisch
Hast du
gegessen
schon...
tatsächlich.
Laber nicht! Also, Tempura kannst du ganz einfach selbst machen. Dafür musst du dir einfach die möglichst große Garnelen holen, die am besten natürlich schon
Oh Gott,
geschält sind und
nee.
so.
Keine Meeresfrüchte.
Das sind keine Meeresfrüchte, das sind Garnelen. Das sind Krebse.
Ja, sowas esse ich nicht.
Das sind,
Ich mag das
hast
schon
du
nicht
noch nie
riechen.
probiert? Das schmeckt anders, als es riecht, das ist dir klar, ne? Also, ich würde dir auf jeden Fall mal anraten, das zu probieren. Die Sache ist, Tempura kannst du nicht nur mit Garnelen machen, die Garnelen eignen sich nur am besten für, aber das ist halt einfach nur so eine Art Bierteig, wie wir es hier als für Fisch, für Backfisch und so kennen. Aber halt auch, da tauchst du Gemüse rein und frittierst das einfach in heißem Fett. Und äh, ja, es ist super geil. Es ist super gut. Aber das ist nicht das, was ich meine. ähm,
Also Sachen,
Mir fällt
generell Sachen, die aus dem Meer kommen, sind bei mir sehr, sehr schwierig. Da bin ich
Und
extrem
obwohl du
krüsch.
in Hamburg wohnst,
Ja,
das
naja,
ist
nicht
echt
in
krass.
Hamburg. Aber
Ja, aber du wohnst da in Norddeutschland, wo das Ganze üblich ist.
ja.
So, also ich frage mich, also wenn wir in Japan sind, dann musst du Fisch essen. Da kommst du gar nicht drum rum. Das ist so eine Sache so. Ich meine, du kannst dich wirklich, wenn du viel Mühe gibst, kannst du Japan auch ohne Fisch, aber die Sache ist, wenn du in Japan kein Fisch isst, so, dann fehlt dir die Hälfte der japanischen Küche komplett. So, das sind halt Sachen, die, ich meine, ich hab Fisch von klein auf immer beigebracht bekommen von meiner Mutter. So. Das ist ein angeeigneter Geschmack, so wie man Kaffee mögen lernen muss. So, aber es ist was sich total lohnt. Gerade wenn du dann mal in Japan so eine gegrillte Makrele kriegst oder so. Boah, Alter, da läuft mir jetzt schon wieder das Wasser im Mund zusammen. Und wenn wir uns vorher mal
das
treffen
ist halt,
sollten,
bei
dann
mir ist
koche
es
ich
halt echt
japanisch.
komisch. Es gibt Sachen, die esse ich dann total gerne. Es gibt Sachen, das schmeckt mir dann überhaupt nicht. Es ist auch teilweise so, dass ich plötzlich Sachen mag, die ich vorher nicht mochte und umgekehrt.
Ja, normal. So, das ändert sich oft.
So, das ist halt wirklich irgendwie total random bei mir, was Fisch angeht generell. Einen Tag
Ja.
stehe ich total auf Scholle, den nächsten Tag schon wieder nicht mehr und das ist, oh.
Naja, das ist halt auch so
Äh.
eine, ja, ist halt eine Gemütssache. So, aber in Japan, da gibt es halt für jede Situation was sich lohnt. So. Und wie gesagt, Tempura solltest du auf jeden Fall dann probieren. Ähm, und jetzt gucke ich gerade immer noch diesen Eintopf, der ist so geil. Ich kriege diesen fucking Namen nicht. Und das ist nicht Okonomiyaki, nein. Ähm, verdammt nochmal. Ich sag dir Bescheid, wenn ich das nächste Mal in einem Anime gesagt kriege. Es ist halt tatsächlich so eine Art Eintopf, wo dann halt, du machst halt wirklich das Gemüse und das Fleisch und alles in einen Topf mit Brühe oder so einer Art Suppenbasis drin, mit einem Fond drin. und lässt das dann halt alles gemütlich durchköcheln und isst das dann direkt aus dem Topf und holst dann so, hast dann ein Schälchen mit Sojasauce, in das du das dann dippen kannst und so und dann isst du das. Also japanische Küche kann ich echt gut. Also wenn wir uns bevor wir nach Japan fahren, tatsächlich mal treffen sollten, so dann koche ich gerne mal japanisch, so ein 3-Gänge-Menü mindestens. Ja gut,
Okay.
Umgang beim japanischen Essen ist jetzt nicht viel. So.
Ich bin gerade auf Wake Island gestoßen, als ich sinnlos im Pazifik rumgescrollt bin.
Warte mal, Wake Island, Wake Island, Wake Island. Ah, yo, Battlefield.
Mhm.
Ich wusste doch, das kenne ich. Ja.
Das ist ein Wildlife Refuge, ne? Okay.
Mhm. Ja, wie gesagt, also bereite dich auf Japan vor. Ich weiß nicht, wie gut du Japanisch kannst.
Ich wollte
kann
es
dir.
mal irgendwie lernen, bin
Äh,
aber nie dazu
Es gibt
gekommen.
ein super einfaches Buch. Es gibt wirklich ein super einfaches Buch. Das ist im Endeffekt ist das ein Reiseführer. Aber der erklärt dir Japanisch ohne Schriftzeichen. Ja, nur erstmal das Sprechen. Und gleichzeitig hast du aber die Option, die Schriftzeichen dabei zu lernen. So, wenn die stehen da alle mit bei, du brauchst sie aber einfach nicht. Und es geht halt wirklich um die einfachsten Verständigungswege, die du lernen kannst. Das ist Kauderwelsch, Japanisch Wort für Wort. Wenn du willst, kann ich dir die ESBN schicken. Und dann holst du dir das. Das kostet 12 € oder so Maximum. Und da lernst du alles, was du brauchst an Japanisch. Und den Rest an Vokabular kriegst du halt wirklich aus Animes und so.
Hm?
Mhm. So habe ich mein Japanisch gelernt. Und abgesehen von Unterhaltungsjapanisch, also sich tatsächlich auf Japanisch unterhalten, kann ich es halt. Da fehlt mir halt wirklich die Praxis. Und die kriege ich halt auch erst in Japan so. Oder wenn ich mir wirklich mal Freunde in Düsseldorf suche, die ja alle Japaner sind und das mit mir üben wollen. Die Sache ist, die haben da meistens keinen Bock drauf, die Leute. Wenn du nicht bei denen zu Hause bist. Anyway, ich mache mich jetzt davon. Ich habe Hunger, will mir jetzt was angucken und so weiter und so fort.
Okay.
Eine gute Nacht gewünscht. Bis morgen.
Jo. Tschüss.
Puh.